Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wind, Reel, and Print. My name is Ryan, and today I am joined by a very special guest, a returning guest. If you've seen or listened to the Zoolander Tropic Thunder episode, today I'm joined by Chris. Hello, Chris.
Yeah. Hello, I'm stepping back into the ring.
Yeah,
a returning champion, perhaps.
maybe.
Podcast is a competition. Right?
I was about to say, I guess it is a tournament. I'm gonna have to run the numbers on that one to see exactly where you land, but it's definitely good to have you back. It felt appropriate to bring you for this kind of new format that I'm kind of messing with here. We're messing with here in the lab, which is basically, I mean, something that happens a lot on this pod for any of our listeners that have been around for a while, and God bless you. You make my heart sing. We, naturally, as you're kind of talking about movies and watching a lot of movies, you start thinking, hey, I think I might be able to do that a little better. That's a natural progression, or I can do something laterally, parallel to this idea. I don't want to, there's some greats. We've watched some really great things, but we did like Treasure Island. We did Muppet Treasure Island, the one from the 50s, like Disney's like first live action, and then we did Treasure Planet. And that kind of led to a lot of really great, like, what were the best things about Treasure Island, and how could we meld that into something else? And so kind of naturally goes. And obviously I wanted to bring on Chris, who loves to write. You love to write, right, Chris?
I do.
Yes.
I've been writing screenplays for the last 12 years, maybe at this point.
Yeah. I guess that tracks. I feel like you've technically done it longer. Like if I'm thinking about but
technically longer, but really like having fallen into the groove in the last 12 years or so.
Nice. Do you remember like the first screenplay you did, or was it in school, or was it like for an assignment, or was it personal?
For fun. It was in high school or middle school, somewhere around there. And so the formatting obviously is completely wrong.
Can you imagine? Oh yeah. What do you remember? What program you used? Or was it just Word?
Microsoft Word. And it was, fittingly for this podcast, it was an adaptation of pre-existing IP.
Yes. Easy. Yeah.
I wrote a screenplay for a Super Mario Brothers movie. This was obviously way before Illumination was in charge of that property,
but certainly way after the live action
the Bob
one.
Hoskins, John Leguizamo version. Yes.
The top dog, I would say, of the material. So was there anything interesting from that screenplay that you can share? Like, did you do anything interesting with it, or was it pretty simple?
It was a pretty simple adaptation, but it included so many characters because I wanted, my favorite character in the Mario universe is of course Waluigi, who
of course
Nintendo doesn't seem to love too much, but Waluigi had a beefy role in this feature film that I wrote. But then there were just like obscure characters that when I was trolling the internet in 2008, people were like, "Oh, I love this little wooden boy from Paper Mario," and so I was like, I better find a place to put him in. If people like him. So
you felt some responsibility to the material.
Yes, and the material I think suffered because of it.
That reminds me, I did, and I guess now you'd call it fan fiction. I don't really remember like knowing that was a thing back then, but I did a Star Wars one where basically and it wasn't really a screenplay, it was more like a story, but I can remember that being like the first time I like tried to do it. And just like you're saying, I added every character. I didn't even care about the timeline. I was like, Yoda is meeting, well, I guess they all kind of like,
arguably Lucasfilm doesn't care much about the timeline.
True. So in some way, like, and this is a conversation for another time too, but in some ways I'm like, they care too much to the point where like they're like not greenlighting material for fear that they don't understand it or whatever. But that's that's something for another, and that's an idea we've pitched for this, if this all goes well, of our own Star Wars trilogy, which
Mm-hmm.
would be fucking great.
Yeah.
I have faith in that. I have faith in that. But today we're using these skills that we've honed over at least a decade, um, to bring you the next generation of Muppet films, Muppet cinema.
Yeah.
That's only fitting. Um, so we threw out a bunch of ideas. Muppets was one of them. What do you, for you? What draws you to the Muppets?
I think that there's a nostalgia. I mean, even
Mm,
just like so many people, myself included, grew up on Sesame Street. Not
yes.
literally, I didn't live there, but they
Thank you for the clarification. I was
yeah, I
really
know
worried.
it's confusing. No, I grew up on a different street, but I certainly watched Sesame Street.
Yes, Soy Street.
Um, and then, at some point, Kermit the Frog, he visits Sesame Street. And then, he
Yes,
goes off and puts on his own shows. And you're like, not unlike today, you see a creator do a collab with somebody else, and you're like,
true.
what
Yeah,
else are they up to?
yeah.
And so I don't know when exactly I would have learned about the other Muppet characters.
Hmm.
I I remember going to see in high school with a group of friends the Jason Segel Muppet movie.
Yes. Was that
Um,
2008? Is that when that came out?
I think
Or
that's 2010 or 2011. I'm
2010?
not sure
See,
which one.
if we have any listeners of the Tropic Thunder Zoolander episode, you will know that Chris and I never agree on the dates, and Chris is almost always right. So I will
I'm gonna say
accept the
2011.
defeat.
I'm gonna look it up
Ooh,
right now.
ooh, ooh! I think you're right. I think you're right. That sounds right. I feel like I'm on, like, the spectrum I'm on is like I see dates with movies, but turns out I'm busted.
It is 2011.
Okay, okay. So you
So
were wrong at first,
I
but
was
you
wrong
locked
at
in.
first, but I locked in final answer at 2011.
That makes
But I,
sense.
I remember seeing that with a group of friends, and I remember at least one person going with us being like, I don't care at all about the Muppets. And then
Mm,
we left that movie, and she was like, that was hilarious. I loved it.
yes.
Um, I have appreciation for a lot of those older Muppet films.
Mm.
I know that, and certainly for the purposes of this episode today, like probably the two most popular ones are certainly Muppet Christmas Carol and I guess Muppet Treasure Island. Those seem to
It
be the most like talked about.
yeah, and it certainly fits where we're going with
Yeah,
this, which is more like the
absolutely.
Muppet adaptations. Yeah. So you remember watching those?
I remember watching those. I wasn't as crazy about the Christmas Carol one or the Treasure Island one as
Mm-hmm.
most other people my age seem to be, but
Mm-hmm.
I like, I like that Jason Segel one. I like Great Muppet Caper.
Oh,
Um,
nice. The classic.
yeah, I
Yes.
I watched the season of where they were trying to do like The
The
Office, but
Office.
it's Muppets. I watched that whole season.
And you're
Uh,
alive. You
and I'm
didn't
alive.
off yourself. That's great.
I know that a lot of the direction that the Muppets have gone, which is in not a lot of directions because
Hmm.
Disney doesn't seem to know what they want to do.
They don't.
I've still enjoyed a lot of that stuff, even if it's
Yeah.
not, my favorite. I've still gotten a lot of enjoyment out of still seeing some of these characters and just getting the opportunity to see where they go again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's something they created a perfect set of characters that you
Yes.
can move into a lot of things. And even like from the beginning, the Muppets were very skit based, right? They had
Hmm.
like the Muppet Show was very like SNL style sort of thing where they had a but and I guess SNL also comes from a long history and tradition of variety shows. Um and
Sure.
so
And Jim Henson worked on the that early
True.
SNL season.
Yeah, it was in the first episode at least, maybe the whole first season,
I
but
think the whole
was
first season,
okay.
I maybe a little bit beyond that, and then
Yeah,
as I mean, when Jason
crazy.
Segel hosted, the Muppets were there with him to do the
Whoa.
monologue. Like they've
Oh, okay.
Kermit's been
Nice.
on Weekend Update. There have been like
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
things from there on, but Jim Henson definitely was in the beginning of Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. And so they are just a great suite of characters that you can mess a lot with. And I think that I agree with you that it feels like Disney doesn't really know what to do exactly. But I'm here to say we know exactly what they need to do,
Yes.
which is just the tried and true method. Like you find something that's already good and throw some Muppets in it. And I'm telling you, you got a winner. You don't got to try to do all these things or whatever. And I think another thing that's just great about Muppets is that they've got this meta quality to them where it's just like you can break all the molds of what a movie even is and throw it all in a pot. It's wonderful. Um, and then I think that that leads us here, which is we have some ideas and we're going to throw them out. I've kind of got a general outline of how this is going to go. So please, God, bear with me, folks, as I don't I don't know. This is the first time doing this, but Chris and I had a lot of fun when I was down there coming up with some ideas just kind of over lunch, and it made me think this would be really fun to do. So hey, let's see how this goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Chris and I have come up with a few ideas, the very bare bones to start with, but I think we're going to make it all the way through casting. We're going to go all the way to that point, make it real easy for you producers out there to just, take our ideas, credit us. I'm
Yeah,
not,
I think that the way that I've approached this
oh,
is,
sure.
we're a team of writers.
Yes,
We've been
of course.
given this property and here are the things that we want to do with it. So those
Yeah.
producers out there, if you like what you're hearing, hey, this is the writing team to take it on.
Oh, yes. Yes. You wouldn't be messing around. These are the top dogs of entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah, undeniably so. Uh, so, all right. Well, let's get into it. So, um, to start off, I came up with way too many ideas, and I think like it naturally, it's going to kind of, you could throw Muppets in anything, and I would be at least
Yes.
interested in
Yeah.
what it is. Um, but I think for me at least, and I want to hear kind of the direction you went before we kind of throw ideas and see what sticks. But I basically have like books and plays and things like that. I've got movies, which is I something they haven't really done is remake a movie with Muppets, which I think there's a lot of great ideas. And then I also did historical events because I think
Oh,
if you could throw
I'm very
like
interested in historical events with
I'm
the
just gonna throw
Muppets.
I'm gonna throw one at you. The Bay of Pigs invasion
I
was the
mean,
one.
of course.
Of course. And I think for so many of our generation, this is a great way to get people interested in some really important historical events. You throw a
Yeah.
couple Muppets in it, and I think serious Muppets isn't a direction that's been messed with too much. I think that it's very jovial, but hey, throw them on the precipice of nuclear war. I'm kind of
Yeah.
interested to see what Rizzo the rat, how he handles the pressure.
Yeah, and I mean, we've seen, pigs in space with the Muppets, and now I want to see
Mm.
just a bay full of them. All
Oh,
the
see, I
Miss
thought you could
Piggies
do
and the
literal.
the link
Yes.
hog throbs of the world. I'm ready.
Okay. So, those are like before I jump in, those are kind of my three big kind of directions to go. You had kind of mentioned you had some direction that you were kind of thinking. What's
Yeah.
your general idea?
I broke this into three categories essentially,
Okay.
and there's some overlap between them, I guess, but essentially I broke it down from adapting a classic, whether that is like a classic movie or a classic work of literature. I put
Okay.
that kind of together. Um, and I also like specifically came at it from the category two is like literally what should, because Disney owns the Muppets,
Mm,
what should Disney do with them? And
okay.
so that is, I mean, we'll get into that in a
Yeah.
second, but that you could argue that's still a little bit a part of the first one, but
Yeah.
we'll expand on that when we get there. But the third one is, I think, part of what has helped A Muppet Christmas Carol stick around for so
Mm.
long is it gets put into the holiday rotation every time. And you don't
Ooh.
want to cannibalize, and the Muppets have tried already. They've adapted like It's a Wonderful Life and some other Christmas related media. But are
Mm.
there other holidays that we can put the Muppets into
You're
to
so
get
smart.
that yearly rewatch and relevancy?
Yes. And I remember, oh man, that's so damn good. I didn't go there, but I love that. You're thinking like a true producer, I feel like, with that one. Uh, yeah, no, I'm thinking like, I don't know if I am so curious what schools are like nowadays, but I mean, they
Yeah.
would put on the Muppet Christmas Carol like every holiday season. So it was like ingrained in all of us. Um,
Sure. Every holiday season, you see people being like, "Oh, just one more sleep till Christmas."
yes.
So
So yeah, one more sleep till Muppet Christmas Carol. We're almost there. Um,
we're
oh,
close.
I don't even know. I don't even know when this
This is
episode's going to
probably
come
coming
out.
out
So
in March.
yeah, so sorry. Uh, yeah, but okay, that's great. So we have a few things. So maybe we just throw them out and see where we go. See, maybe right if I'm gonna here, I'll start. I'll
Okay,
throw some ideas.
great.
Write down anything that you think is interesting, and then we'll riff on it once we kind of like choose the four. And I don't know if I mentioned that, but we'll
Hmm.
pick four.
Yeah.
Okay, so uh books. What do we got? Books. We have Moby Dick. I think there's something interesting there. You can,
Yeah.
that we're talking classic. The Great Gatsby, and I'm also picking books that I know,
Yes,
so that I can actually
that was
cast.
a huge part of my thought process
Yes,
also. I
yeah,
didn't end up writing it down, but I do remember thinking, Great Gatsby might work."
yeah,
So,
exactly. I'm interested. Like I'd watch it. I would definitely
yeah.
watch it. Um, and and this also kind of like is the nature of me. Like I don't read that many books anymore.
Yeah.
Like I wish I had read some romantic novels because I feel like there's
Mm,
a lot of good material there. I wrote down Jane Eyre, but I couldn't for the life of me even try to cast it or throw Muppets into what characters. But I
yeah.
think that like Wuthering Heights.
Sure. A
That's
Pride
kind of
and
hot right now.
Prejudice. Yeah.
Yes, you can imagine some really good romantic material. I would love to see that them on horseback. Um, I've got Don Quixote. I think
Hmm.
there's some kind of like a wacky guy kind of losing his mind a little bit. That feels Muppets could fill into that.
Yeah.
Um, a book that I know that you probably know, Slaughterhouse 5. I don't know if you
Certainly
know.
heard of it, but
Yeah, yeah, that's Kurt
couldn't tell you
Vonnegut.
anything
Yeah,
that
exactly.
goes on
So,
in
so maybe we don't work on that one on this
it.
episode. That's fine. Um, oh, you'll love this. The Bible.
I do love this. I If you want me to put my producer hat back on, it's a no-go. But as a viewer, I love it.
Yeah, true. Yeah, there's a lot, but they might need that market. They might be looking for that.
True.
Um, and then the last two from the books, I think is Lord of the Rings, which I've seen people do that online, a little bit of like kind of like fantasy casting, I guess, those. And I think there's a lot of good ideas there. And then also Shakespeare. I feel like I haven't seen any Muppet Shakespeare. And I feel like that's another, you can get kind of classic with it. Muppets and you can kind of play with the kind of language and things that are happening at the time, and I think it'd be pretty fun. Um, so there is that. And then I mean, I guess I'll go through all my ideas. How about that?
Okay, sounds good.
And then movies. My second category, I've got I kind of picked some classics. Citizen Kane, I would love to see that with
Of
Muppets, and
course.
of course, Psycho.
Yeah.
That's I was thinking of a horror movie. I'm like, all right, we should probably go classic with it. Uh, this is kind of crazy. Easy Rider. I kind of
Okay.
thought Muppet Easy Rider. is interesting. I guess I just want to see them on motorcycles, maybe.
Yeah.
Um, Sound of Music, think you can kind of
Mm-hmm.
do that. Star Wars. I feel like I
Mm-hmm.
haven't seen that. I feel like I've seen Miss Piggy as Princess Leia, but I wasn't able to find much online. And then just a broad category of like, as soon as I kind of realized, oh yeah, Disney owns this, is just messing with some of the older Disney properties too. I think they did Snow White at one point. I was kind of looking up adaptations they've made, but you could do that, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, maybe even some of the 90s ones like Aladdin, Lion King. Or you could even do a mashup of a lot of different things. So that's like really vague, but I wanted to throw that out there. And then the historical events, that was the major, Bay of Pigs was the one that really got me there, and
Sure.
I'm happy I was able to throw that at you. But I can imagine, some other good ones. The Gettysburg Address, you could do the Hamilton style, like go all the way back to independence. You could do Watergate. I think a lot of like the 60s and
Uh-huh.
70s. I don't know why. I just love the idea of a Nixon Muppet as well. Um,
Yeah.
the Vietnam War, maybe. Very interesting. And then I this one's a little more like I think there's a lot of possibility with this one. So you know how Pharrell Williams did a Lego movie. He basically
Yeah,
did
his
his
documentary or his biopic as a
exactly
Lego.
was
Yeah.
was Lego theme, which was very, I didn't watch it, but at least from an idea perspective, it's like, oh, that's kind of interesting. I don't
Yeah.
think it makes any sense with Pharrell in any logical way.
As someone who
Um,
did see it,
oh,
you're correct. But
nice.
it is fun to be like,
Yeah,
wow, what a neat
yeah,
different thing to do.
exactly. So
Especially when
I,
your biopic doesn't have a lot of real conflict that's
yeah,
presented.
true,
It's
true. That's
it's
that's
fun
a
to
very good
see
point.
it in
Yeah,
just a different
yeah,
way.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like, what is Pharrell? Yeah, it seems like, yeah, especially from the trailers, it's like, oh, he just has a good life. Good for
Yeah,
him. Yeah,
that's basically what it was. It was like sometimes people were kind of mean to him, but then he dropped some sick beats. It's like, okay.
nice. Brought everyone together. But the one that I was really thinking of with that was doing a literal Jim Henson biopic with Muppets. I think there's
Ooh, okay.
something interesting there, and I was bouncing between, is Jim Henson his character a Muppet or not? I kind of think I kind of think yes, but
Yeah.
I'm willing to kind of dance around. I don't think it could. I'm open to ideas, but that was the one that I was like, okay, that feels like there's some sort of jewel there. But those are my big Muppet ideas, top to bottom. I hope I didn't give too much away to listeners, but that's what I got. So, um, do you? I'm wondering if we talk about. Should we just go through your ideas next, or
Sure. I don't have as
as
many
many?
in each
Yes.
category.
Yeah.
I kind of like landed on something to represent each category. So for
Perfect.
that, the classics one, we mentioned when we were scheduling this that I was gonna have some time on my hands because I was gonna be at jury duty. And
Nice.
I was like, a Muppet 12 Angry Men
I
is
yes.
it feels
Yes.
too easy, but
Yeah.
it feels like it inherently works.
I know. I was looking at a list of like top movies, and I was like, 12 Angry Muppets is
Yeah.
it really works. But then I thought the subject matter, but hey, I didn't give a fuck about the subject matter on some of these, so I don't know, but
Yeah, and it
you could
is
make it
like you
work.
can change the case that they're
True.
they're debating.
Yes. Yeah. There's probably something very funny.
Yeah, and it is like, this is maybe more of a film analysis question, but
Hmm.
like does it is it 12 Angry Muppets or is it
Mm.
Muppets 12 Angry Men? Because I feel
Mm.
like I don't remember if you were in this class with me when we
Okay.
watched 12 Angry Men for some like study of
I don't think
cinema,
so. Okay.
whatever that class was that we took in the auditorium and then you'd sit around and have to do the Q&A after with all the
Oh,
students.
oh, yes,
Whatever. I don't
yes,
remember what
yes.
that class
Was
was
that the
called.
Tuesday night ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I remember
Um,
that.
I feel like that was something shown at one of those and somebody
Mm.
brought up the idea of remaking 12 Angry Men today, and the question of are is this story and the way these jurors behave inherent to like
The time.
masculine qualities, or
Okay.
could you put women in the deliberations if you were to remake it today?
Yeah.
Or does that feel like, some people argue you can't do James Bond as a woman because James Bond is like
A
such
white
a
man.
a male archetype
Yeah.
specifically,
Yeah.
whereas with other properties you can easily gender flip.
Yeah.
Um, but the reason I say that is like if you say we're gonna have 12 Angry Muppets, I expect Miss Piggy to be in that courtroom or in that
True.
deliberation. But
True.
would that fit? Anyway, that's
Yeah.
something to think
Got it.
about.
Okay, cool.
Category number two I mentioned was like, what should Disney do? And you already kind of
Yes.
touched on this, but
Yes. Lay it on me.
Disney keeps wanting to churn out these live action remakes of their animated movies
Of course.
where they are stuck in a sense because obviously financially these are making millions of dollars because for whatever reason people keep going to see them.
I don't know them,
Yeah,
but they are out there.
exactly. And people either get upset that it's the exact same story that the animated one was, like shot for shot remake,
Yes.
or they get upset that you've changed something that they like from their childhood.
Yeah.
I think that if Disney wants to essentially satisfy both camps, is to remake their animated movies with the Muppets as live action stuff.
Yeah, it's a win-win, I would say, because
Yeah.
Muppets inherently come with their own energy, I guess you could
Yeah,
say,
you're
and
not
their own ideas.
changing anything from the original. Like you're not I don't know what the right word is, but you're not like
Yeah.
tarnishing it.
Yes.
But you're still able to take the structure that works from that original one,
Mm-hmm.
and now you can add new material, but it still feels like it's different, but while also being the same kind of
I
threads the
love it.
needle. I
Yeah.
don't know which one you start with is kind of the issue. It feels like you should start with Snow White because
Yeah.
that was the
Oh,
first one, but
so
that last one
yeah,
that came out,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it also like sets a weird precedent of like, oh, we're doing every single one and we're starting at
it's
the very
true.
beginning.
The other two
Um,
that I kind of thought might work are Tarzan or
oh,
Hercules. Um,
ooh.
so
Ooh.
just something to think about where there are some different ways to
Yeah.
go. Is it a
I
human
love it.
actor who is raised by Muppets in the jungle? Is it,
Stop.
you know,
Stop. That's
is
too
it,
good.
yeah, we've
That's
got
too good.
options.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, cool.
Um, Lastly, for holidays, obviously the easiest holiday to land on is Halloween. So what's some sort of horror Muppet thing? A couple
Hmm.
years ago, they tried to do Muppet's Haunted Mansion on
Yeah, that didn't
Disney
land.
Plus. Didn't
Yeah.
land.
Yeah.
This
So you're
kind
delving
of
into difficult waters there, you
I
understand. The
I
producers are gonna like
am
that.
it. Well, I don't know exactly how broad to make this because on the
Yeah.
one hand, it's like another property that's so hot right now, much like Wuthering Heights,
Mm.
um, is for some reason Frankenstein, and
True, it is
so
so hot right now. Yeah.
I,
It's like Pinocchio was really hot like
yeah,
a couple years ago.
yeah,
And now it's Frankenstein. And I guess, hey, that's Guillermo del Toro is like, hey, I'm bringing
yeah,
these things.
that's
He's on the
true.
wave. He's both of those.
But I guess like it Muppets Frankenstein, or is Frankenstein a part of it and we kind of touch on, Dracula, Frankenstein, if you want to title the
Mm.
Muppet Monster Mash, where
Oh,
we're in like a Monster Squad Hotel Transylvania-esque um movie, we kind of bring all these things together, then we can highlight, you know, the iconic scenes from each one while also bringing it
yes.
all together. I don't know if we stick with just Frankenstein or if we get all the
Oof.
monsters in there, but that was That was another thought that I had.
Oh, that's so good. I mean, just Frankenstein, just thinking about the design of it, you can make like a Muppet, like it's like all of these Muppet parts stitched together. There's a really
That's
cool
true.
Muppet designed Frankenstein's monster that I really love.
That is a good idea. I also was like, is Frankenstein's monster just the human actor and
Ooh,
everyone else is a Muppet?
no, it
So
true,
we
true.
got a lot of different ways to go.
Yes, yes.
Um,
Okay, all
but I
right.
do like the idea of just like a true like Frankenstein felt
Yeah,
creation.
exactly. Just a monstrosity, but I don't know how far that can really go. It's an interesting image at the very least.
Yes.
Okay,
An
cool.
interesting suit to make someone wear.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Hopefully it's cool in there.
Yeah.
But I imagine it gets hot as hell in a giant felt monster. Snuffleupagus, is that his name? Was that
Yep.
the
The
yeah,
elephant.
yeah, yep, the elephant. I
Yeah.
always imagine it was pretty warm in that elephant,
Yeah. I would
especially in
think
the
so.
back end. Didn't seem like
Yeah.
there's a lot of holes to breathe through. I love all these ideas. I think
Yeah. We have a
that
good list.
we have a great list of ideas already. We could shut down the episode right now and I'm satisfied. But we're going to go one step further and we're going to pick four that we really like, and then run with it. And so I just off the top for me, some of the ideas that you had that I really like. Um, yeah, I think one or the other, Hercules or Tarzan. I think there's some really good ideas there. I like Hercules a lot because um, I also like that Hercules is the one human, because I guess that's something that you have to think about in these
Right.
things too. Is like where the humans come into play, because there's always
Yeah.
a human that plays some titular role in it. When in Muppet Treasure Island, it's Jack. Oh my God, not Jack. Is it Jack? Is that
John Silver.
no? Not John Silver.
Okay.
Is Tim Curry? Oh my God, who's the
Well, is
kid? What's
that?
the kid's name?
Oh, I guess I just assumed that that was the human you were talking about.
Nope. There's a
Yeah, would
lot of
it
humans in
be
that.
Jim? Is it Jim
Jim,
Hawkins?
yes,
That's at
Jim
least what it is in
Hawkins.
Treasure Planet.
Yes,
So,
you are correct. They did a 1-to-1 there, so you're
okay.
good. And then yeah, Ebenezer Scrooge,
Right.
and yeah, Ebenezer Scrooge being the big one in Muppet Christmas Carol that I have not seen in a while. I'll have to watch it this holiday season. So I think there's something good there. Is there one of those that you like more than the other?
I feel like I like Hercules more than Tarzan
Tarzan.
for this
Okay.
purpose because
Yeah.
it gets a little murky with Tarzan of like, are we just gonna have like how feasible is it for it to just be all the Muppets in the jungle? Or does
Yeah.
it need to be like a bunch of monkey or like, gorillas
Right.
and stuff?
It feels like Hercules is a bigger world, which I
Yes.
think helps too, and different kinds of Muppets. Like you start to with, yeah, because thinking of all the different kinds of character designs of all the different gods, for example, you could have
Right.
all different sorts of things, all kinds of cool monsters. It really lets the creature shop go nuts with it,
Yeah.
which I think is a really good selling point. With it, so maybe we lock in. We'll light lock in
Mm-hmm.
Hercules.
Okay.
Okay. What's an idea of mine that piqued your interest a little?
I really like this Jim Henson biopic idea.
Okay. I think we got to do that, because that I think that might be Oscar worthy.
Yeah. And I've been a part of the campaign for a long time that's like, just let the Muppets host the Oscars. Why
Oh
do
my
we have to
God.
get just like
What are we doing?
some comedian who has to tell a bunch of jokes that bomb because nobody in that room wants to laugh?
Yeah. And
Like
here's the thing. No one's going up and slapping a Muppet. They could
that's
say whatever
true.
they want. No one's going up. So you're not going to have events like that when you have a Muppet themed hosted show. But
Yeah.
you're on the campaign. Is that
I'm
what
on
you
the
said?
campaign. I it
You're
hasn't
outside the
gained a lot of
academy.
traction, but
Yeah.
I'm on the
Yeah.
campaign.
I haven't heard of it yet, but hopefully the listeners of this podcast your change.org petition. I imagine that's where they should
Yeah.
start.
Yeah, a website that famously works
Yes,
to
exactly.
create
A
real
lot of
change in the
great
world.
things. A lot of great things. I remember when that first came out, I was like, whoa, this is amazing. It's that easy to change the world by just hitting this button. Little did I know I was quite naive as a young man. Okay. So great, Jim Henson biopic. I would love to throw back at you Frankenstein. I feel like
Yeah.
Frankenstein is a winner. It's 100% a winner. Um, lots of directions to go. So that would be one that I would do. And then maybe we jump back into is there another one of mine that
The
you really
one,
liked?
well, look, I told you already, like, hey, I love the Muppets Bible, but I really don't think we could do
It's
it.
fair. That's fair. It's at least
I,
I threw it out there. It was
yeah,
important to put it on the board.
yeah, I don't know if the Muppets are quite meta enough to pull it off in like a history of the world part one kind of situation.
Yes, yes.
I don't think they're quite there.
I would agree with you. I think that there's a lot there's a really fine line of like how do you show the crucifixion of Jesus
Yeah,
in Muppet form? I Mel Brooks could do it. He could do
right.
that sort of thing. Monty Python can do it. They've got a certain they can get away with it. The
Yeah,
Muppets like I think they would have used to have been able to get away with it because they were a lot edgier back in the
yes.
day. But now there's been a cooling off, especially since Jim Henson's passing, of like how
Right.
family friendly the Muppets have to be,
Yeah.
which yeah would make it really tough.
I will say that I have not read this book.
Mm.
So
Okay, so
you
this
may have
might
to do a little bit
a little
more
heavy
heavy
lifting.
lifting,
Okay.
but I think that Moby Dick is a strong contender. People
Okay.
already have proven they like to see Muppets on boats with Treasure
True.
Island.
Yeah,
Let's put
we
them
could
back
reuse
on
the
some
sets.
boats. We can
Yeah,
reuse the
exactly.
sets.
Yeah, woo, yeah.
I'm sure
They've
the
kept
sets are
those.
still around.
They definitely have kept those. Tim Curry's still around. We can bring him in. He would
Yeah.
have made a great Captain Ahab back in the
Yeah.
day. Too bad, too bad. But yeah, I'm also famous on this pod is that I've been working on and writing some sort of adaptation of Moby Dick in some direction. So I am
Great.
very familiar and have watched several of the adaptations. So you want to run with that?
I'm good with that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then there we go. I think we have four. Do you feel good about these four?
I
Uh,
do. Yeah.
okay.
Hercules, Frankenstein, Moby Dick, and a Jim Henson biopic.
Yep. Wow. Wow. This is good. Okay. Great. Well then let's I guess we'll just start at the top. So I mean, obviously we're talking Muppets,
Yeah.
so we are kind of we have a cast of characters
Yes.
predetermined in a lot of ways, but it is important to get that casting right and
Absolutely.
to find where the humans are in it too. Um, so let's start with Moby Dick since that one feels like the one that might be the hardest of. Oh, I mean, Jim Henson biopic seems pretty hard, but let's
Jim
buy
Henson biopic's a different thing though.
totally
So that
different
one
thing. So
can
we'll
we
end
can
with that. Yeah,
exactly.
we'll end with that one. So let's do Moby Dick. So how what is your as just a layman?
Yeah.
What's your general? Can you name some of the things that happen in Moby Dick that you kind of know just through osmosis?
Okay, it's very little. I know that
That's
it
fine.
starts with Call Me Ishmael. I
Oh,
know, I
you got it.
know that Captain Ahab is searching for that white whale.
Mm-hmm.
And he will, essentially do anything to catch the whale.
Yes,
Um, and that's about it. That's about all I know.
that's good enough. So you got Ishmael and you
Yes.
got Ahab, and those are
Yeah.
going to be the two big characters no matter what. Um, in the vein of Muppet Treasure Island, it feels like it's fitting for both of those to be humans. Like in Muppet
Okay.
Treasure Island, we had Jim Hawkins and Long John Silver as the humans. But
Okay.
what do you think? Do you think it'd be better to have them as Muppets? Where does your mind go?
My mind is Ahab is definitely a human, but
Okay.
Ishmael I think could be a Muppet.
All right.
But
I
I don't know anything about
that's
Ishmael
fine.
other than he starts the book.
Well, here's the thing. Ishmael is very, I would call him in some ways boring. Like he is
Okay,
more of a vessel
sure.
for the book. Ahab is a big character. It's basically a book about Ahab and whale facts. That's
Okay.
what the book is. Because he also just, there are chapters where you literally, the story is not happening. You're just learning about, what is it, 19th century whaling practices, um, which is super useful and interesting, as you can
Hmm.
imagine. And it is
Yeah.
my favorite parts of the book. So I like the idea of a Muppet Ishmael.
Hmm.
I think that can work. Now, I think that there's, when I think of Muppets, and a lot of what we're working through here, I think will come into play in some of these other ones we talk about, but people tend to put Kermit in the lead of all of these like fan casts and things when they,
Right.
this is something that happens on the internet, people coming up with Muppet movies. I would argue that it's Gonzo. Gonzo always to me feels like a better vessel
Okay.
because
Yeah.
and I think it's Gonzo and Rizzo are always kind of a
Right.
pair, and they work well together. So my pitch would be to have Ishmael be Gonzo, but where do you tend to land on that?
I definitely I'm interested in that. Can you tell me a little bit more about some of the other crew members
Oh, true.
on
I
this
guess that's important.
voyage? So that because I had a different inclination when you were
Hmm.
describing Ishmael, but I don't know if maybe somebody else on the boat will fit better to who I was thinking. But
Yeah, and also I could even think Walter, who's kind of the generic Muppet human character, could
right.
work too. But
I was
yeah,
also
no.
thinking just to get it out there before I forget, I was also thinking Scooter when
Yes, oh yeah, Scooter, sure,
who's
sure,
also
sure.
kind of fits that same Walter vein, I guess.
Yes, yeah, yeah. I think it was Walter before Walter sort of
Yeah.
thing because I think Walter came out later, if not
He was
with
in
the
that Jason Segel,
yeah.
yeah,
Was that? Do you have an
original
ed?
character.
Oh, it was an original. Okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah, I think Scooter was the straight man kind of character before that. And or maybe Kermit was, but I'm not going to be able to name all of the characters,
Sure.
obviously,
I'm
but
scrolling through a Wikipedia article right
yeah,
now of
the
list of Moby
big,
Dick
yeah, the
characters.
big one that you'd have to figure out how to work around nowadays.
Okay.
But I think we could is Queequeg is a big side character. It's who Ishmael meets before getting on the boat. In the book, as many of the 19th century novels tend to view anyone that is not white. He is
Mm-hmm.
a quote unquote savage
Sure.
from an island nation, probably like Maori. He's kind of like got a New Zealand thing. He's got like tattoos and stuff all over, but is like an excellent whale hunter. And in general, is really good on the ship. But at first, everyone's like, "Oh, you can't bring this guy on." But he's kind of huge, very, very tall, and is an all around. I think just a morally good character, but is considered like paganistic and misunderstood and strange. I start to drift towards Sweetums,
That's the way you were describing it makes me think Sweetums. I
right?
originally thought Pepe the Prawn might fit there, but when you started saying how big he was, I was like, we gotta
That
go
would be
Sweetums. We gotta go
insane. Yeah,
Sweetums.
that would be, but it could be even be, well, then we have that weird parrot lobster character, but even like Pepe and Sweetums as like a dual character almost, like because Sweetums
Sure.
doesn't talk too much. But I don't know if Queequeg talked that much either. But then you have basically a number of other characters on the boat that all kind of fit the generic roles
Okay.
that you would imagine. Like I know Starbuzz is a character, and it just kind of adds up. I can't even like name specifically what a lot of them do, but
Okay.
yeah, there's
That's
just a
actually,
whole
I think that's
cast.
good for our purposes,
I think so
actually.
too. I think it's all. I think I've used this word before already, but they're all just kind of vessels for
Yeah.
Muppets. we can fill them in. Um, and then you have the whale. The white whale is obviously the big
Yeah.
character that everything is always leading to. And at another point, they meet up with another ship, and kind of meet some other, like a whole another like cast of characters, that could
Okay.
lead to
Yeah.
some
I
things.
think I can get on board with Gonzo as Ishmael. I think also if I remember correctly, he and Rizzo both like narrate the Christmas Carol adaptation, so you could
Mm,
pair them up as a dual character. Instead of pairing up Pepe and Sweetums, we could pair up Gonzo and Rizzo in the quote unquote boring Ishmael lead.
yes,
And
which
then
yes,
yeah,
I agree. I think that just as a pair, because they also were a pair in Muppet Treasure Island too. There's the Jim
sure.
Hawkins character, and they fill characters that don't even exist in the books, because basically you kind of need someone
Yeah.
there having fun with this character of Jim Hawkins. So, okay, great. Um, so we got the Gonzo and Rizzo Ishmael, but we
Mm-hmm.
need the human Ahab. I think that's a
Yeah.
big selling point.
It is a big selling point. Ahab is one of those roles too that I feel like most actors are like, "Oh, I'd love to play Ahab."
Yes. Oh,
And
okay.
I'm gonna piss them off because I'm gonna pick somebody who has probably never said that and also does not have the star power to be the
Ooh.
face, the human face of this movie.
Yeah. This is what's supposed to get everyone into the theater. So, Chris, lay it on me.
Jason Mantzoukas as Captain Ahab.
Ooh, I mean, obviously he has the look.
He
He's
has the
he.
look. He can be
Mhm.
crazy.
Yes,
Um,
yes,
he seems like someone who would stop at nothing, putting everyone in harm's way to catch
yeah.
this whale.
That would be
Um,
good. So often, I think with Jason Manzukis, I want to run with this because obviously my mind went to Willem Dafoe. Could be boring. I don't. Have you seen The Lighthouse?
I've not seen The Lighthouse, but I don't think
But
Willem Dafoe as Ahab would necessarily be boring.
yeah,
Because I think that the other thing we need to mention is there are two different ways of acting with the Muppets.
true.
There's the
Yes,
Michael
please.
Caine school of thought, which is
Yeah,
treat the Muppets as serious thespians that are
yeah,
your peers, or
yes,
the Tim Curry method of these are Muppets, I'm going to play as a Muppet. So
yeah,
it is
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of like which way people would go. I
Western
think
man.
Jason Mantzoukas probably fits more into the Tim Curry side, and I think Willem Dafoe fits into the Michael Caine side, and they both work. It's just which, what are the ways we want to go?
Yeah, exactly. So Jason Mantzoukas will be much more comedic. It will be just a more
Yeah.
comedic movie.
Yes.
Um, but
But Willem
you
Dafoe
know,
can do, he can be funny too.
oh,
So,
of
you know,
course, he has done some funny things, and he also has the look. I think if you were to ask anyone who would be Ishmael, I think a lot of people would say Willem Dafoe, just because that's
you mean Ahab,
yeah,
but
would be
yes,
Ahab. Yep. Did I say Ishmael?
you did.
I did. I
I'm
meant
not going to
I
call
meant
him
Ishmael.
Ishmael, you
Yeah, I
know?
meant Ishmael. No, Ahab. But I'm kind of crazy. I like taking risks, and with no money on the line
Yeah.
at the moment, I say I say we throw Jason Mantzoukas in there, and we give him the movie that will make him a star.
I like it.
This is what propels him to stardom.
Yeah, I mean, not unlike, obviously the Marvel movies still get like a big star to anchor a lot of those movies, but at the same time, the school of thought seems to be like, well, you're not paying to go see the movie for our lead, you're paying for the Marvel brand. I think that
Yes.
similarly, you would be going to see this for the Muppets, not
Yeah.
whichever human is in the Ahab role.
And that is very true. That is very true. Yeah, no, that's a very good point. Is that people are going to see a Muppet movie, and they don't see Muppet Treasure Island because it's a Tim Curry movie. They see
Exactly.
it because it's a Muppet movie. Yeah, yeah. Okay, great. Right on. All right. I think. Is there any other things you want to add, casting wise? Like,
I mean, I think that we can assume like who we'll see somewhere in the movie, right? We'll
yes,
see
yes.
Kermit, we'll see Fozzie, Miss Piggy, Statler and Waldorf will be in there for sure.
Yes, they're
Are they
yeah.
on the
I
main crew? Are they on land? Who cares?
yes,
You're gonna see
exactly.
them.
It doesn't feel as important in this. I think we have our tight cast ready
Yeah.
for the pitch, ready for the
Yes.
elevator pitch.
Um, the last thing before we move on
Yes.
is the whale
Mm.
a real whale? Is it a
What? What'd you say?
is it
What?
a puppet? Is it mechanical? Is it CGI? How do we
Mm. Uh,
tackle the whale?
you know, I'm always going to say no to the CGI in Muppets, in the Muppet
Yeah.
world. I think you can do forced perspective or something like that to make a whale work. But I think you do I think you do some sort of Muppet whale. But I think it can't be silly. It's the one thing that has to be deadly serious because that's
Yeah.
at a certain point the movie has to get serious.
Yes.
Um and it will reach that point because also what's great about the Muppets is they can have those really emotionally powerful moments in them too.
Mm-hmm.
You think of all of the Muppet movies, they do have like that core. There's at least one scene where it's like, oh, whoa, like I kind of forgot I'm watching puppets doing things, you know. Um,
Yeah.
so that would be my it would be some sort of creature made, but it would be more lifelike than not.
Yeah. I think I agree with you. I don't know how you um handle the Muppet felt getting wet, but
Oh, you know they've thought of it.
I but I do agree that it should be like a practical
Yeah. Okay.
creature.
Perfect. So we got well yeah, okay, I hear practical, I still think real whale, so but
Just
it is
stock
a
footage of
physical.
whales.
Yes. They never come close to it. It's never really a concern. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I
uh
think that that works.
all right, so Moby Dick, we
Yes.
have it. We've got Gonzo and Rizzo, kind of Gonzo, Rizzo, and Manzukis as
Yeah.
our three
I mean,
leads on the poster.
I know that we just came up with it, but that sounds like a movie exactly for me.
Yeah,
Gonzo,
exactly.
Rizzo, and
I had a
Mantzoukas.
feeling we're gonna make a few movies that are made just for us and not really anyone else. But that's neither here nor there. That's why you hire us to write it because
Exactly.
it comes from the heart.
We're gonna make Mantzoukas a star.
Yeah, exactly. It is our God-given right to make him a star, whether he likes it or not. Um,
Do you want to move to Frankenstein next?
let's
That
do
feels
Frankenstein.
arguably the easiest of the three we have remaining
Yes,
because,
perfect. So we took a big bite. Now let's go to what just is like, you haven't thought of this already, Disney?
yeah, you
Give me a
already
break.
have um uh I don't know how mad of a mad scientist Bunsen Honeydew really is, but
Yeah.
that
But
you
you do.
already have the
Yeah.
scientist character
Yes.
and the Igor character because they're already always paired together,
Ooh,
Honeydew and Beaker.
that's so I I mean, this is their chance to really like lead a little more. I don't think
Yeah,
they don't really do they're more like the kind of the B characters for the gags. So I think
yeah,
there's a big opportunity. I do think you need them as these characters, whether the story hinges on them as much as it originally
sure.
does. Because I think there's also a way to do some of these where it's like the Frankenstein story is happening, and there's this other story happening too that's more Muppet themed and that kind of like jams up to it. I'm thinking like with Muppet Treasure Island, there's so much that isn't in the books, obviously, that they kind of like that's more Muppety. And
Mhm.
then we still keep kind of the general other things kind of like going in on in the side. So that's always something we can do too. So we have is it Bunsen? Is that what his name is?
Yeah, Dr. Bunsen, Honeydew, and
Okay. And
Beaker.
Beaker. I was desperately looking for like just all of their. I mean, I guess I've got the list of them up. It's on Wikipedia, but I was just looking for a chart that had all of the Muppets with their names, and I could not find a good one before this episode. So if I ask questions, that's my bad.
Hey, that's
I
quite all right. It
yes,
is, I think
exactly.
it
Yeah.
is also just like the chart of Muppets is so much more extensive than any
Yes,
web page could handle.
it is true. Yeah, there's not there's so many options. Okay, great. So I think that's a good start. But what are the other like who what are some well, I mean, yeah, who's the human where's the human in this?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it could be the monster, but it's not as fun to have it be the monster, you know?
Yeah. I maybe there's a story happening in like the local village, and that's kind of
Yeah,
where we have a lot of the characters. Maybe we have a female lead in it that's kind
sure.
of like, I'm almost thinking like Belle from Beauty and the Beast sort of thing. Like she lives in a village and then ends up going to Frankenstein's castle for
Yeah.
some or lab for something. And then we that story kind of like is thrust upon this village because obviously that's a big part of the Frankenstein story is he eventually the monster goes down and terrorizes the people. So maybe a large part of what's happening kind of happens down there. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that that's probably a good way to go. I mean, you can get a lot of the Bunsen and Beaker gags in the
Yeah,
castle, but then like to actually carry the narrative, you could have either an original character, you could make like the village constable like
yeah.
the main character, I
Sam the Eagle,
guess.
boom. Sam the
Yeah, I
Eagle.
mean, Sam the Eagle definitely is
Yeah,
the constable.
yeah, exactly. I think you have I think you make kind of the peasant or a peasant that is kind
Sure.
of like unassuming as our lead would be my
Yeah,
yeah.
I like that
You
idea.
I'm going to Rachel Zegler a little bit, but I know maybe she is poison to Disney now, but I kind of like this
I like that
innocent.
idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What's a can you think of any like kind of innocent actors that could play
Um,
if we want
maybe
to go that
like,
direction?
well, yeah. I mean, if they're gonna be as young, or like, because I feel like younger kind of gets equivocated to innocent.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm still gonna pick a bunch of people in their 20s, but I don't know.
I don't think you know anyone younger than that.
That's
I
true.
certainly don't.
What about, and I don't know how to pronounce her name. I've only
Oh,
ever
all
seen
right.
it written,
All right.
but uh
Saoirse Ronan or
no,
Ronan? No.
Anjali Rice.
Mm.
She
Oh yeah,
was
what's she from?
she was Ryan Gosling's daughter in The Nice Guys, if you saw The Nice Guys.
Oh yeah, of course.
She was the lead in
Mean Girls.
the Mean Girls movie adaptation.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like her. I like her. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think also like, you could maybe easily be like, oh, Frankenstein, we should cast like, a Jenna Ortega type, someone with that like gothic edge. But I think it works better to have someone more innocent and more afraid of the monster arriving in the
Yes.
village.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking like young Frankenstein, right? I think that's
Yeah,
another kind of angle to take this a little bit. And you don't want everyone to be gothic and crazy. You kind
right.
of you need like some of these other characters to kind of fill this other role. So there's a bit of a contrast. Yeah, I think and maybe we're both gonna butcher her name because I also don't know how to say it. So we're gonna say Anjari.
Yeah,
So I
that's what we're going
apologize.
with.
Yes, exactly. That's how it's spelled. I'm so sorry. Um, yeah. Oh yeah, she's in the Spider-Man movies too. Forgot about
Yes.
that. Um, nice, great. So we got Anjari as
Hmm.
our as kind of like almost a Belle, a Snow White in the village, an
Sure.
Aurora surrounded by kind of the Muppets
Hmm.
around her. She's like keeping everyone together because everyone's kind of losing their minds a little bit as they tend to do Muppet style.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, who's a good like I'm gonna like naturally Gonzo and Rizzo are going to come up as like great sidekicks and stuff, but
Yeah.
is who else can we think of that could be good? I mean, obviously there's Kermit. Like we are
Hmm.
disrespecting the man a little
Yeah.
bit, and Miss Piggy. But what do you think? And who
Like
are some
for
Muppets that we can
her,
lift up?
like for as a sidekick for her.
Anjuri, yeah,
That's a good question. Because I don't think, easily I'm like, oh, I don't think it's this person. I don't think it's this person. I don't think it's this person.
right,
But I'm trying to figure out who then can rise to the top.
yeah. Who is?
Animal.
Oh God,
I don't think animal's the right choice, but
yeah.
fit
I mean,
better than
certainly
some of the
animals.
other
I
ones.
mean, animal tames the beast. I think is eventually what happens because they have a
They
similar
have like a
energy.
standoff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Like
yeah,
you are dealing like Frankenstein's monster. You think he's crazy, but talk about real crazy is animal.
yeah.
Um, I feel like there's a natural place that goes.
I don't know this character's name.
Mm,
Maybe
describe.
the small bunny. Is it Beans or is it
Oh,
Buttons? I don't
you're
know.
so you really go deep with these. I don't know either. Let's see. Bunny Muppet name. Um, oh God. Bean.
Bean, singular. Okay.
Yes, Bean. Uh, ooh, okay, okay. Does Bean talk?
I believe so. I
Okay.
believe um Bean is the Muppet perhaps that Scrooge sees when he's like, "You
Mm.
tell me what day it is," or whatever.
That's good. That's good. Is Bean anthropomorphic or is Bean like actual like bunny, like a bunny? Or is it
Um,
like does it stand on two legs? Do you remember?
I believe stands on two legs.
Okay, okay. That's good. So
Um,
that they can move around and be
yeah.
Bean. I love Bean. Oh, of course. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yes. Oh, 100% it's Bean.
Okay, great.
I'm looking at pictures of Bean. I love Bean.
Yeah.
Give me Bean. Bean, man, they gave him terrifying eyes though. Those are so scary. They are just
They did.
black as night.
Yeah, I feel like
I
Bean, and I don't really remember that much about Bean, unfortunately,
yeah,
other than Bean's look.
yeah. And
Um,
he's got a good voice if I remember correctly.
I think so, yeah. But
Yeah.
it's like Bean, I think, is
Yeah.
more innocent, but also not weird to pair with Andre. Because like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Scooter is innocent. I feel like Walter is innocent, but they're both kind of weird to be like Andre's sidekick. It
Yeah,
doesn't
exactly.
quite
We already have this.
fit.
Yes, I 100% agree. Yeah, I think Bean Bunny is our sidekick. And then we have Honeydew and Beaker.
Yeah,
I'm getting this all in the spreadsheet for our big presentation later with Disney.
yeah. And
So
Sam
it's very
Eagle is the
important.
constable.
Yes, yes. Sam the Eagle. Yeah, naturally. Uh, okay.
And I
Let's
think
enter.
also just
Mm,
to
yes, please.
throw it out there before anybody comes at us, right? Because a lot
Oh,
of, especially the more recent Muppet things, they're big on cameos, both of Muppet characters and of humans. And so
and
I just want to say, yes, that has
that has
always,
always been a thing. But I will say Muppet Treasure Island and Muppet Christmas Carol, they didn't have cameos.
no, not really.
Yeah,
You could argue
but
some of the Muppets you see are maybe cameos, but
sure.
I do agree that like they weren't as big in those movies. But I do think that so far both of these things we've talked about, Moby Dick and Frankenstein, both open themselves up to cameos.
Oh,
So
totally. I'm
yeah.
even thinking of with Moby Dick, like when they meet the other ship
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. I mean,
that's
you fill
Cameo
that.
City right
That's
there.
cameo. It's insane how many cameos are on that boat. You could put it all on that because
Yeah.
it's just like one chapter. It's very short, but you could throw everyone. You get them in for one day. You got Paul Rudd on there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
you got
The
the
Muppets
whole
you can't
shebang.
fit anywhere else, but you still like,
Oh,
they're all
yes.
there.
Yes, exactly. Hey, I was wondering where they were, and you put them all on the other boat. Um, yeah, I think that there's some good ones. Anjuri's dad. Maybe
Yeah.
Anjuri's got a dad, maybe a little sick. Huh?
Yeah.
A little sick dad action.
Yeah, that she has to go to the castle to get like
Oh,
the medicine
ooh,
or whatever because
yes.
he like the scientist has these weird remedies.
Yes, that they're hearing about like, oh, what he's able to make things, he's able to like help things, and maybe there was even talk like he brought something back to life or something like that. And there's like
Hmm.
there's rumors that are kind of going around. And oh, that's good. So let's get a great human cameo as the dad. Like,
Yeah.
who's a good dad for Anjuri?
Well, how does Anjali get her innocence from her dad, or is she an exception to the family outlook?
I would say for Muppet's sake, it runs in the family.
Okay.
He's a good guy.
Okay. I that's all right. Who is a good dad for this?
He's got to be. I feel like I'm seeing a little bit of a gut. He's got a little bit of a gut. He's a little
Hmm.
bigger. Um, who? I mean, there's some great. I'm trying to think of that Irish actor that's who was in Banshees of Inisherin.
Brendan Gleeson?
Yeah, yeah. Brendan Gleeson is an
Yeah.
interesting. He's getting older.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know how innocent he comes across, but
who? Brendan
like I
Gleeson?
well, Brendan Gleeson I guess also, but I was gonna say J.K. Simmons.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
but I don't know
Yeah.
that he comes off necessarily. I mean, he's got both of these actors have range, and I'm sure they've played
Sure. Oh,
innocent characters.
they'll
But
blow it. Oh, also Brendan Fraser.
oh, Brendan Fraser's a good. That's a good choice.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know how cameo cameo centric this person is, but
Uh-huh.
this also feels like a if they were game, a Tom
It would
Hanks
be a winner.
sort of sort of
Ooh,
spot.
whoa. That's
I
insane.
know.
That is insane. Whoa. Yeah, wow. That's crazy. But it might be crazy enough to work.
Yeah,
I think I think we do like a Tom Hanks and a Brendan Fraser, like he's the B, and then maybe
sure.
we maybe JK is in kind of the other
Mm-hmm.
round. But
Yeah.
let's give one more brain push.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone else come up as another good option? I like Tom Hanks. Who's in that same world? Who was big in the 90s?
That's exactly what I'm trying
Right?
to work my way through. And it's like
Yeah.
this is tough because he already kind of played this type of role in the live action Beauty and the Beast, but like a Kevin Kline also kind of
Oh,
fits in a
oh,
little bit.
I love Kevin Kline so much. I might have to say Kevin
I
Kline.
mean, it's a fair choice. It is
Yeah.
just like he did kind of already play this part
Yeah.
because he played Belle's dad.
Yeah. I haven't seen the live action version, but or did he play the live action or the animated? He
The
did
live
live action?
action.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
he
did the
did
live
yeah,
action.
he was Emma Watson's
Oh, wow. Okay.
father.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I'm trying to think of somebody else, and
I mean we have too many options.
we do.
We do.
None of them feel like exactly right though,
I
which is what
know.
bugs me.
Oh God, what's the all right, let one final one and we'll just have to settle it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Um
throw out Jeff Daniels.
mm, mm. Still doesn't feel perfect,
Agreed.
but
But
but then there's Jim Carrey. Obviously,
right.
naturally you go there too, but I don't think he's a good fit either. I think
No.
some people bring too much.
Yeah.
Um, and almost like even like Jeff Daniels is like too serious in some ways, which is kind of crazy to say, but
Yeah,
um, yeah, okay. I think I think we can put an offer out to Tom,
sure.
see where that lands, and then we've got like Kevin Kline, Brendan Fraser. Now, see, like the Brendan Fraser ones, a lot of people would be very excited about that. That feels
Yeah.
very, you can get the masses
Buzzworthy.
on
Yeah.
that. Yeah, very buzzworthy. Tom Hanks, he's not putting people in the seats, but I think he like he used to. But I think that he it feels right in some ways
Yes.
to see him kind of under the weather a little
Yeah.
bit. Okay,
Yeah. We
well,
got
boom,
options. We
we
got
got options.
options.
That's great, fantastic. Tommy Hanks, um, and then yeah, I think that's good. I think that we kind of landed on, I think the Frankenstein's monster. There's options, but
Yeah.
maybe we stick with it, kind of being a little. Maybe it's a mix of both human and Muppet.
That's what I was wondering too, is could you do like, I just don't know how it would look practically, but
It'll
like,
look awful,
could
but
you
that's
do like
also
a Two-Face like Batman villain
yeah, yeah,
style of like it's half human and half
yeah.
Muppet?
Ooh, Tommy Lee Jones. That could be a dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I don't know how
old.
I don't know how innocent I find Tommy Lee
That's
Jones.
true. I mean, in No Country for Old Men, he plays like a really good straight shooter kind of guy that
Yeah.
that feels genuine, but I know what you mean. Oh, John Goodman.
John
That's
Goodman,
another
of
option
course.
too.
Yeah.
Of course, of course. I also like Danny McBride a little bit as the
Oh,
dad.
interesting.
It's kind of something. Ooh, yeah, no. Now Seth Rogen's being a little like I just landed I just landed in this. Oh, Leonardo DiCaprio. All right. We got to stop. We got to stop
Yeah.
this. Now I'm just naming names. Okay, but yeah, half face. I even think like it'd be funny if the face is Muppet and obviously puppet controlled, but there's just like part of the
Hmm.
torso is human, and obviously
Yeah,
it is
like
a
an arm
human.
or something or
Yeah,
a
yeah,
hand,
yeah.
whatever.
Like a
Yeah.
lot less human, a lot more Muppet.
Yes, agreed.
Um, okay, cool. There we go. Frankenstein. Boom. Let's go to Hercules.
Let's go. I think, I think Hercules is probably a human.
I think so. I think this is the time when our lead character is the human.
Yes.
Okay, so we need a nice buff, good looking guy. Obviously, my mind goes to Jacob Elordi, but he's so hot right now. It makes sense. Do you know Jacob
Yeah,
Elordi?
I
Yeah,
do.
enough. Yeah.
No disrespect,
Oh, he. All right. Here comes the disrespect.
but I don't care for
I
him.
don't know if I don't know if he's your type, if you're his type. Um, that's okay. That's okay.
I have yet to see um great acting from him.
Well, that's sure. That's not even what this is about. I wasn't even thinking about that. Um, okay. So who's another, you know, good looking? I mean, it might be one of those things where you kind of pick someone who's pretty fresh,
I think you
even.
do. And I think you do this even if Disney is doing a non-Muppets Hercules. I don't think we should know the
Yeah,
actor who plays
I
Hercules.
think you're right. I don't think it's like I think they need a couple things under their belt because I think like
Yeah,
Percy Jackson is like something that came out that was a movie and then I think then it became a show on Disney and like I couldn't name a single actor on that. And I don't think that's the direction we want to go.
right.
But someone who's just enough, maybe he was big on TV and then you
Hmm.
kind of bring them into the movie realm or big on stage and you bring them into the movie realm, but someone
Yeah.
who's got the chops and the understanding, but this is their thing. So we're open. We're open to this
Yeah.
casting. We don't have to necessarily come up with it. I don't
Yeah.
think.
I don't think so either. Um I think that yeah, we're open to what general audiences would consider an unknown, but we're not going city to city doing open cattle calls.
Yes, yes, exactly. I also want to thank you, Chris, as I realize as I'm in here, I'm like, you're taking this very seriously,
Of
and
course.
I, and as you should, but I just want to say thank you as we're in the middle of this, as we're talking about casting calls and things. It will happen.
Yeah, no,
It is, yes, this
we're
is real.
pitching these movies, but we're also pitching ourselves.
What do you think? Okay, cool. Um, okay, so Hercules is malleable.
Hmm.
There's a few different options with our Herc.
Yeah,
Um, so you're left with some of the other characters. Now, I think the next big one naturally is Hades,
sure.
and I feel like in the spirit of Muppets, the villain is good for human. Like
I also think that Hades fits a human type.
yeah,
I just don't see which Muppet character could properly fill that cloak.
yeah, and I think that's one of the things with the Muppets is like Muppets aren't good bad guys.
Yeah,
And not to say they're not like good bad guys, but that they are kind of always good. There's always like
yes,
this redeemable, I'm not saying the
right.
villains aren't redeemable, but like thinking about all of them, there's always like they're the sidekicks. You've got whoever the vulture guy is. Um,
Hmm.
I think the bear is always
The
really
bear is,
good. Yeah,
yeah,
naturally. I'm thinking of the recent Muppet movie
yeah.
as an example of all
Uncle
these things.
Deadly also, I think, was paired with
Oh
the bear.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep, yep. Um, okay. So Hades.
I've seen, because Hercules is also one of the movies that Disney is actively trying to get a live action
Oh, is that true?
version going. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be directed by them or if they're just heavily involved in the producing process, but the Russo brothers are attached to the live action remake
That's not
of
gonna work.
Hercules. Yeah, this isn't, we don't need to get too in the weeds about my opinions on the
Yeah.
Russo brothers,
I just like
but I feel like there's been a fall from grace that
yeah.
has
They
left
make
a
a
bad
certain
taste in my
kind
mouth.
yeah, I feel like they make a certain kind of movie that Hercules we're getting in the weeds a little bit here.
Yeah. Um, but all of that to say, I've seen a lot of fan castings
Oh,
of
okay. All
who
right.
people want to see as Hades.
Can you throw some at me? What are some
Tom Hiddleston's name has been thrown around a lot.
of course.
Um,
Sure.
I I don't want to go back to this well, but I'd love to see a Jason Mantzoukas type.
You're
He's
sick.
Greek. He's
You're
Greek.
sick.
This takes place in Greece. I'm doing a great job.
Yeah, yeah.
I also, as you
Mm.
know, hey, my favorite actor is Sam Rockwell. I think Sam Rockwell fits well into the Hades
Oh,
position.
yes. Yes.
I think Benedict Cumberbatch's name has been thrown around a lot as well.
Yeah. I like Sam Rockwell a lot. I think that he can go there. Because
Yeah.
here's the thing. James Woods does a Hades that's basically perfect. Like
Yes.
and it is what it is. You can't cast him though.
Correct.
There's no you're not casting James Woods. Sorry, it just ain't happening. So someone has to kind of bring their own spin
Yeah.
on Hades, and so it's going to be good. And that's why I think as the number one pitcher of Jason Mantzoukas, I can see it
Yeah.
because at least he's bringing his own thing. I also think Sam Rockwell can't help but bring his own thing to
Agreed.
this as well. Um, what are there other? I felt like I'm trying to think of like who has played good because you've mentioned a number of villains from Marvel
Yeah.
movies. Um,
I think, you mentioned him for Captain Ahab, but I think Willem Dafoe also could be
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
fun.
he can do anything.
Michael
Like Willem Dafoe.
Shannon could be fun.
Oh God. Oh Lord. That's just so. But I do Michael Shannon. Fuck. I think what's great about Michael Shannon is he is like scary. And I
Yeah.
think if you could have a scary Hades, like that is just like he doesn't know he's in a Muppet movie
Yeah.
is kind of great.
Yeah.
Ooh, I, I mean, I'm kind of thinking Michael Shannon. I think that's pretty good. That's like he would scare the shit out of all these Muppets.
Yeah, and all
Yeah,
the children
the
watching, I think
children.
it's
Yeah,
fun.
exactly.
I think it's
Yeah.
fun to scare them.
Ooh.
You
Yeah.
still get to give him, his wacky sidekicks,
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. Pain
pain and
and
panic
yeah.
in the movie.
Yeah.
And so you can lighten it up a little bit, but he can
Yes.
still play it
I
seriously. And he's, done some comedy work also, and so he's like
yeah.
he
He just
knows
reads everything
exactly how
straight.
exactly. He's got a
Exactly.
very
Yeah.
dry sense of humor.
Yeah. The sorority video is obviously that infamous one that's so
Yeah.
great. And I could see that just like, I mean, just change up the words he's saying, and all of a sudden it's the funniest thing.
Yeah.
Um, but he can't help but act, just act hard. Oh, the other guy I was thinking of that I really liked, who was also a villain um, in the first Guardians of the Galaxy. He
Lee
stars in that.
Pace.
Yeah, I do like Lee Pace a little bit as like an actor, and maybe we can
Yeah.
dig him out at some point. But that was something. I still think Michael Shannon's better, but I finally got there. I was like, Lee Pace would be an elegant
Sure.
Hades, and there's
Yeah.
something to that too, of like kind of like a little more royal about
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah.
Um, I if I were to say Michael Shannon, I think is who I would go with. I think that's great.
I'm good with that.
All right. Oof, that's good. I like that a lot. Okay. So then we I think, thinking of the classics, like the sidekick characters for our
Mm-hmm.
lead. Um, what's the satyr's name?
Phil.
Phil. So who's a good Phil?
You
I
know,
mean, does it have to actually be like a satyr kind of character? Like
I don't think so.
you don't think Gonzo as a satyr is
Well, I was gonna say Gonzo, so we are
okay?
at least
I
on the
think
same
I think
page. I
I
don't know if
kind
he
of
has to be a satyr or if he can
yeah,
just be Gonzo.
yeah. I think it's open to it, but I also feel like kind of it's to really lean into the Greek themes in it
Mm-hmm.
this time around. I think could be really good if they're all kind of like playing like they all fill that like some sort of mythical character a little bit.
Yeah.
I love like Pepe or Rizzo as like tiny little centaurs. Like they could be like
Sure.
half like I don't know. I'm going with all sorts of shit. Or like little pixies. Um
Yeah.
yeah.
I like Gonzo for that role. I as Phil, given his Daredevil-esque backstory and
Yeah.
history, as now he can train
Yes. Yes.
Hercules.
Ooh, does he work as like a grizzled kind of character? Do you think? Do you think he works as like a because he's basically like a past his prime
Mm-hmm.
sort of character who takes some convincing. Does Gonzo have it in him? Do you think?
I don't know that he works grizzled, and
Yeah,
whether
and
that
it doesn't necessarily
means
have to be
right. That's what
that
I
way
mean is
too.
like,
Yeah,
do we then change it? Because I do think that Gonzo still works as someone past his prime, given that a lot of the great Gonzo's stuff, at least in my memory, fails.
yeah, yes,
And
yeah,
so it still
and
works
so
as
yeah, it
like,
plays to that, which I
yeah.
like. Yeah. Okay.
Um, I'd also like to, I know that in the Disney movie, these are five women, but I think that the
Mm,
Muses is a good
mm.
place to slot in Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem.
Oh yes, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's insane. But it is good. It is good. Yeah, like rock and roll muses. I think
Yeah.
that's good. Yeah. Okay. So we got
I do want my creative legacy to be insane but good.
yeah, yeah. I probably have said that a lot because it's true. It kind of breaks my brain at first, but then it tastes good going down, which is
Yeah.
a good sign. Okay. Uh, and then so who do we have as Zeus? I think that's what you bring in another
Another
human.
human. I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I
I
think
don't think all the gods have to be humans because obviously we've put Zeus
we
and
need.
Hades as human,
Yeah,
but I
we
think
still like Kermit and Miss Piggy and Fozzie. We're not giving them, but they always play major roles
right.
in like they'll be in it obviously, but
I mean,
the
I think that like Miss Piggy as Aphrodite is fun.
yeah,
I think that
great.
like Fozzie as Dionysus is fun.
You're losing me. You're starting to lose me. I don't know enough.
um, but yeah, I don't know quite what we do with Kermit yet.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mm. Yeah, what's man, Kermit feels like the I mean, maybe also what you can do is kind of split some of these characters. I think Kermit as a grizzled old like guy they have to get information from could
okay.
work a little bit too. Like at a certain point, like they got to go to someone of importance.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think Kermit works grizzled. I think Gonzo works
Yeah.
better at grizzled. But when you say
Okay.
grizzled, the Muppet I think of is Rolf.
Oh,
And I
sure,
don't know
sure.
why exactly, but that's who I think of.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Um,
Rolf has never really had the gotten the respect I think he deserves. He was like the first major Muppet. I think he might have been like the first Muppet ever. Well, at least from what I read in the history and stuff. But yeah, okay.
but
Well then, yeah,
I
yeah.
do
Where's
want to
Kermit here?
find whether we backtrack to Moby Dick or Frankenstein for a moment. I do feel like we should find a Kermit role,
Yeah, it
since
would.
he
It does.
is the guy.
Yeah, and the producers are going to ask where the fuck is Kermit?
Yeah,
Because here's the thing,
I
like people on the top level and when you I hope the producer doesn't hear this, but when as a producer they're not really they're thinking of basic, like kind of when I
yes,
asked you like Moby Dick, tell me what you know about Moby Dick, and you gave
right,
me the top level
yeah,
things, they're going to say Kermit.
yes,
Like and all of a sudden we're feeding them non-Kermit material. So
right,
you're right, we got to slot in the Kerms
yeah.
somewhere. Now, here's the thing. I think Kermit plays a major role in the Jim Henson one. I
I
think
do too.
that one, maybe that's what it more so is, because that's when it's like, all right,
Yeah,
it's now more sentimental, serious a little bit. And so
yeah,
Kermit plays a much more vital role in that.
yeah. That might be. Maybe we can just save Kermit for this next one because I do agree that Kermit is like the co-lead of this next
Oh
one.
yeah. If you don't cast it, then it's really fucked up. Like if
Yeah,
all of a sudden it's like, oh, Kermit's the manager of like he's Lorne Michaels
right.
for one
Yeah.
one small section of the film. Okay.
Yeah. I think yeah, just know that Kermit is in all of these, but
Yes,
as
of
far as
course.
if we're gonna try to land a Zeus right now, I think also someone we could cast as a human is Meg
Jason
or
Mantzoukas. Oh,
Megara, the character
yeah.
that's the love interest for
Hmm.
Hercules. Um, but yeah, who would be good as Zeus? Who has
I
that
mean,
like
we're.
very powerful aura about them?
I mean, you get like I love the idea. I mean, obviously it's Chris Hemsworth, right? Is like you throw
Sure.
Chris Hemsworth in a beard, like kind of like a like playing up that he was Thor once is kind
Yeah,
of it's kind of good like to use that. And he can Chris Hemsworth can be very funny. He has the
absolutely.
potential to be funny. I think, I'm Russell Crowe obviously is great, but I'm pretty sure he plays
He
Zeus
does play Zeus in
already.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And but it would have been great. I think Anthony Hopkins as well kind of already plays in those
Hmm.
things. Obviously, those Thor movies are a little too big in my head right now.
Yeah.
Um, we can't do Rip Torn, sadly.
We cannot do Rip Torn. Someone else
Mm,
who played a god in the animated version
mm.
uh, is Keith David, who
Oh,
has a
sure.
very powerful voice.
He does. He has a does it, and I'm just trying to be respectful. Can we race mix here? Does
That
a
was
Keith
something
David
that kind
Zeus?
of jumped out at me as well,
Yeah,
but
I think that if you do choose to have a black Hercules, which you know it's
sure.
entirely possible, if you're
Or a
really
biracial Hercules, you know.
yeah, yep, true, true, exactly. And who are we to deny the audiences
Right.
their biracial Hercules?
I think
Um,
that yeah, the it should be half black, half Asian for this Greek
yeah,
hero.
yeah. I will say that if you're looking at historical Greek, anyways, a lot of
Yes,
very dark skinned Northern
correct.
African. That's not a crazy direction to take this.
But also, if you
Um,
want to talk about top level basic school of thought,
yeah,
you're gonna run into some
yeah,
obstacles.
yeah. I feel like there's going to be, you all of a sudden you're dealing with the political aftermath of all of a
Right.
sudden you're doing the James Bond. Is it Idris Elba is going to play James Bond, and all of a sudden that sends people into a tizzy.
Idris Elba is Zeus, though, also a good choice.
Oh, that's pretty good.
I do like Chris Hemsworth as Zeus. I don't know if he comes off too young.
Yeah,
That's kind of my big. You got to age him up.
you got to age him
Yeah.
up. Yeah, you got to really age him up. So he's going like fat
Yeah.
Thor with makeup, the whole kind of 9 yards. You know, I think Tom Hanks could do it. Like it'd be
Interesting.
different.
Yeah.
Um, I'm kind of jumping into some of our like even J.K. Simmons.
I like J.K. Simmons, I think, as
Yeah,
Zeus.
yeah. Like he has that he can cut in.
Yeah.
Like he's got that power. Yeah, maybe it's JK.
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay. I think JK Zeus is that's a great option. Okay. Um, and then Meg. Let's get Meg in
Yeah.
there. Maybe Meg's the same thing as
It
Hercules.
could be
Like
the same thing.
we do we do some what's that when you're trying to find out if they work well together.
Chemistry
Chemistry.
test.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like chemistry casting a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. The two big fan casts, if you're
Oh, sure.
curious,
Please lay that on me again.
are two former co-stars from the Nickelodeon show Victorious, Ariana Grande and Elizabeth Gillies.
Okay. Okay.
And I will say Elizabeth Gillies definitely looks the part.
Let me
Um,
see. Is that who plays Victorious?
no, that's
Okay.
Victoria Justice.
Oh, is that her actual name?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Elizabeth Gillies. I feel like I've never seen her before, but definitely looks like, I mean, certainly when I look at her, has that unknown actor quality about her,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is really good. Um, Definitely older though. She's
Yeah,
our
she may
age.
have already aged out of
Yeah.
that role.
Yeah. Yeah. It depends how young we go with
Yeah,
Herc. But I don't think it's bad to have a little bit of an older Meg.
I don't either.
Like it could be early 30s, late 20s. I think an
Mm-hmm.
older than Hercules Meg isn't a bad idea.
I agree with
Um,
that.
yeah. So, huh? Yeah, I don't think Ariana Grande works though.
I don't either. I think that she's mostly in the fan cast because she did one of those like live sing along Disney
Oh, probably was
special
very good.
events on
Yeah,
ABC and sang the song. And that's
yeah.
why people are like, it should be her.
It should be. She's earned it. Um,
Uh, I I'm trying to think if there are other characters we want to shout out in this one.
yeah, I'm
I
trying to
mean,
think.
there's
Obviously, there's
Pain
older.
and Panic. There's uh the Fates
Yes,
that
the
are in
Fates.
there.
I mean, the Fates, Statler and Waldorf.
Oh, that's a fun choice.
That's kind of
I assumed that they would just be in like some arena, like Coliseum scene, but them as the Fates is pretty fun.
yeah, yeah. It's a little different. It gives them a little more to do, um, but it's kind of like it gives the audience a very like, oh no, them like they're
Yeah.
in charge of
Yeah.
everything. But it'd be very fitting. They would be the characters that would want that role,
Yeah.
right? Okay, maybe we could do that. And then you mentioned the fates. I felt like you mentioned another character before that.
Pain and
Pain,
Panic.
I guess Pain and Panic.
Um, I mean that can be
There's so many like kind
Bobo
of
again, like
yeah,
you can plug a bunch of different
you can yeah, there's a
Muppets
bunch
into
of
that.
really good kind of like
Pepe the
evil
Prawn kind of
adjacent.
fits in there, I feel
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, because definitely what you end up wanting to do with Pain and Panic is they're going to be redeemed,
Is
by the
this,
end.
you mentioned Rizzo and Pepe as like pixies or
Yeah.
centaurs or something. Are the two of them Pain and Panic?
Well, man, Rizzo and Pepe. I don't know if that's a pair you ever see. Because they feel so like they always exist kind of in their own spaces.
Yeah.
And is it okay to have two very small characters with Michael Shannon? Like, do you need kind of like
Mm,
I'm just thinking for comedic purposes,
yeah.
you might need, I think Pepe's great. I
Yeah.
think I love Pepe as it. And like I said, redeemed by the end, like they've got like kind of a change of heart
Hmm.
as these Muppets tend to do. Um, but then yeah, I think Bobo could work or
Should we put Kermit here just to make everyone upset?
yikes.
This is where we're
Oh
gonna put
god.
Kermit and Fozzie
Yeah.
as Hades' two
as
henchmen.
yeah, as the henchman of the bad guy. And they're not redeemed.
Yeah.
They're
Michael
actually
Shannon's
evil.
redeemed, but they're
Yes,
not.
they're not. Oh yeah. I mean, there's something about like evil Kermit, like the Muppets Most Wanted Kermit, like
Oh, sure.
with the
The mole.
mole. Um,
Constantine, I think was his
yeah,
name.
something like that. Uh, yeah, I think you go for just like who's the most kind of can I maybe Bobo doesn't work for that reason. Um, like yeah, I think
Because I think that also part of Pain and Panic is like getting on Hades' nerves. And I
yeah,
think that's part of why
true.
Rizzo and Pepe kind of
Maybe they do work and
work for me.
maybe
Yeah.
yeah, maybe that kind of energy, that kind of small person energy is actually really good. And hey, it's also kind of like devil and angel on your shoulder a little bit. Like they can be
Yeah.
sitting on his shoulder and he's kind of like talking to them and getting mad. So
Yeah.
I can imagine the shots and everything like that. I think yeah, maybe it does work,
Yeah.
and it's just like they're always gnawing at him and always like second guessing what he's doing. And like they're I would imagine even from the start, they're kind of like there's that kind of goodness within them that you automatically see that Hades is always stamping out and be like, we need to, no, 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 we need to do it this way. And they're like, but all these people. And it's like,
Right.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's it. I think that's it.
Is before we move on, and we do
Yes.
need to move on because we still have one more pitch,
Yes,
but
exactly. And I didn't know how long these were going to last, but we have made a true episode out of this. And so Godspeed to both of us.
is, of course, in the Hercules fable, he lives up with the gods. He lives up there
Yes.
with J.K. Simmons, and then yeah, Rizzo and Pepe come in to kill him, but they don't pull it off. He ends up landing as a mortal on Earth,
Oh,
and he's
yes. I forgot. Yeah.
adopted
Oh,
by
this is so
two
good.
people down there. Is
Oh,
that Kermit?
mm.
And I guess it would make the most sense to be Miss Piggy, but I don't really feel like Miss Piggy works there. Um,
What
is
happens to
that
his
Kermit and
parents?
Fozzie?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I love that. I love that. I mean, I almost like there's got to be a female
Yeah.
Fozzie. Is there a female Fozzie?
Oh, is there a female
Because a
Fozzie?
Fozzie dad
Well,
is great, in my
there,
opinion.
yeah. There's the oh no, actually, I'm sorry. I was thinking of another version of Miss Piggy, and not Fozzie. So
Oh
let
yeah,
me,
yeah. There's other Miss Piggies.
yeah.
Yeah. I think the Muppet Caper has that piggy in it. Um,
I
but
don't see a female version of Fozzie Bear in
So,
these Google searches.
well, I think Fozzie's a win.
Okay.
It Kermit, where are you, Kermit? I don't know what to do with Kermit. Am I bad? Am I a bad writer if
I
I
don't,
can't find a place for Kermit the Frog? That seems fucked up. But
yeah,
he
I
just
mean,
doesn't like I get all the other characters' archetypes so much more. And when they do these adaptations, like in Muppet Christmas Carol, who does Kermit play? Do you remember? Like, where is he in the story?
I believe Kermit is Bob Cratchit.
Oh, okay. So he is much more
He's very
front and center.
prominent in the
Okay,
Christmas Carol one.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I
I
mean,
gotta watch it again. It's been a while.
this is, I think, a little bit what you were saying with like maybe they go to someone important, but Hercules does have to go to like villages to prove that he's a hero. So he could be going to a village that Kermit is the spokesperson of essentially. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I
um,
think no matter what, Kermit is a recurring character of something. Like I think
yeah.
like yeah, if it is a village he goes to, it's like someone that he runs into again a couple times, gets maybe a life lesson thrust
Hmm.
upon him in some way from like because I always imagine Kermit like especially in the way that like he has some intelligence, even emotional intelligence to share with our hero. Um yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry. We like Kermit.
We
He's
do.
just
I respect Kermit. I need to hear a good reason to put him in the movie. Gonzo is like these there are some of these characters that are perfect.
yeah,
Gonzo is a
Gonzo.
perfect Muppet.
Yeah, Gonzo isn't necessarily like one of my favorites, but he so easily slots in to pre-existing archetypes, whereas
Yes.
like Kermit kind of, especially again now after these characters have taken the edge off, so to speak.
Yeah.
Um,
True.
but like Kermit kind of faces the same Superman or Mickey Mouse kind of like issue of like, yeah, we love this guy. He's so great, but like we're more interested in Batman or Donald Duck or these
Yeah.
other like
That's a good point actually.
more
Yeah.
flawed characters.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's what it is he's not yeah. Even though like you look back at the old stuff, he's got plenty flaws.
Sure.
Like his
It's not easy being green.
it's not like he was having a hard time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously imperfect man frog.
Yeah.
Um okay, well, we'll find a place
Look,
for
he's
him.
about to get his star making turn here in a second.
Yes. Are you feel ready for the
I
big finale?
I think I'm ready for this for our Oscar
Okay.
movie.
All right, so here's the Oscar the movie, the Jim Henson biopic, um following the life of Jim Henson, I imagine. Who knows from you definitely I don't think we do the Steve Jobs thing like I don't think we just pick a or the Saturday Night Live
Right.
one.
Yeah, we don't pick a moment.
I don't think we pick a moment. I think we
Yeah,
make it we do the whole shebang.
I think so too.
Okay. So, as someone that as I've read his biography, so I have like some understanding. Oh, and then did we? Yeah, you were there. We went to the Jim
We went to the
Henson,
exhibit at
yeah, at the Jewish Family Museum or whatever it is in
yeah,
L.A.
the Skirball Cultural Center, I
Yeah, yeah,
believe is
yeah.
what it's called.
And they had a whole Muppet exhibit and beginning to end the whole history, the early Muppets and everything like that. So I imagine you have some understanding,
I
general
have
understanding.
a general understanding, but this might be another Moby Dick situation where you have a better grasp on the actual events that will be taking
Yes.
place.
So I think, and here's the thing, it's been a while since I read it, so I'm not going to have like all This is something that could really be fleshed out into something really great. But I
Yeah.
think there's some big picture things on like how do you sell this movie in general? Because I think there's the cheesy direction that I imagine, if I'm being honest, will they'll one day go just because it's easy. I'm like thinking about like the Michael Jackson biopic and these Beatles biopics that are coming out. It's just like
Right.
it seems so sterile. The Elton John
Sanitized,
biopic,
yeah.
yeah, like there's some like sanitization of it. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's what happens when, this is just my gripe with biopics, is just like when someone's still alive in a lot of these instances. Michael Jackson's not, obviously, and most of the Beatles aren't, but in general, there's like we really don't want to insult him or the family.
Yeah, we
Like
just want to honor
Bruce
them and what
Springsteen
they've
one,
done. Yeah.
yeah, which I think that Jim Henson had I he definitely had flaws too, and I think there's something interesting about that, all the way up until his death, because he died in kind of like a very Steve Jobsian way, which was just like he didn't fully, and I hope to God I'm remembering all of this right. So just all this caveats, but he was a very religious individual. Christian Science was like a huge thing for him and his upbringing, and so it led him to distrust medicine.
Okay.
And so like when things, I think he had cancer or something like that. Like there was a a not a sense of urgency medically to take care of some of these things, and so he died very early in his life. He made it to, I think, his 40s before he died, but it's kind of the same thing with Steve Jobs. Like he kind of resisted some of these things, so you end up having a very tragic early ending of a lot of unfinished life, a lot of unfinished stories. Jim Henson's life is also one of like, he obviously was a pioneer and came about at, much like, I don't know how much you know about Walt Disney's upbringing, but up in San Francisco they've got the Walt Disney Family Museum, which is a really great place. I highly recommend people go, where you can see all of this. And or Walt Disney just came up at the exact right time. He had the work ethic, sure. He
Yeah.
was an ultra capitalist, but he came up at just the right time of like, as cartoons were becoming possible, and then as soon as sound hit, boom, he took advantage of it, and it all happened, and here we
Mm-hmm.
are. um and Jim Henson came about at a time of these variety shows and people being able to come on and like show their talents. And so that was a big thing, was like going on these things, doing puppet work, doing little commercials for things. I think Folgers was like a really early one, or some sort of coffee company, and kind of creating these things and making this kind of edgy thing, and making puppets more interesting, because they were always thought as one thing and he made them another. He would go on to make, obviously, a lot of the things we know and love to this day: Sesame Street, the Muppets, but eventually felt pigeonholed into making children's material, and would go on to try to break this mold of kind of like happy-go-lucky Muppets. And that would lead him to making Labyrinth. That would lead him to making The Dark Crystal, which I think now we look back and they feel like kids movies, but they were aimed to be much darker, include all of the elements, and also to make Muppets like more than like turning the skills of making these things into like creatures. And so you have like, I think it's called the Creature Shop, but
Mm-hmm.
we have like actually them making all of these different things. And you like the Dark Crystal, for example, is like these crazy things, and nothing looks like a Muppet anymore. So
Right.
when Jim Henson goes off after kind of becoming so big after all these things and does his own work, he is also kind of like chasing this new version of himself, and he would die pretty soon after that, like not fully kind of realizing this new reality. That to me is the Jim Henson kind of story, really big picture. It is tragic
Yeah.
in a lot of ways, but it's kind of about like a pioneer that's, everyone thinks they're crazy. But he is kind of like an unstoppable creative force, much like Walt Disney. I think that comparison is made all the time. Um, and so I think like that's the big that's the big picture of Jim Henson.
Okay.
And I think a place to start with, in terms of the story. So hopefully that was helpful to you and the listeners. And I hope to God I got it right. But I'm pretty sure that's my understanding. And the Jim Henson biography, I'm just wondering if I can shout it out. I can. Oh, there it is. By Brian J. Jones, the Jim Henson biography. It's very good.
Okay.
I highly recommend it to folks. So check it out. Now based on a major motion picture,
Yeah.
right? Once this comes
Right.
out.
Right.
So there you go.
Yeah. I think,
There's a
you
lot.
mentioned when you first pitched it, is Jim Henson played by a human or by a Muppet? And I think the answer is both.
Ooh,
I think
see,
it
that's a.
changes scene to scene and sometimes within the same scene,
I
depending on how he
think
feels.
I think you're just crazy enough to do it. Yeah, because it cannot. I think we both agree it cannot just be human. Like I think
Right.
that's going in a direction that is so generic and uninteresting. I think I think the Muppet one completely is interesting. I think what you just pitched is fucking nuts. And I love fucking nuts.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's good. Do you have anything off the top of your head that's like an example of a movie that's done something like that you can pull from? No?
Not off the top of my head. I mean,
Yeah.
something that like part of where the idea came from though
Mm,
is going back to that Jason Segel one is that song Man or Muppet where you
yeah,
see Jason Segel and his reflection, but it's a Muppet, and then similarly you see Walter's reflection and it's Jim Parsons, and that's like, the
which is great.
duality of them.
Yeah.
And I think that that kind of feels like it would fit with Jim Henson
Yeah.
as a person.
Yeah, that's interesting because it could be even like the stages of his life kind of can
Yeah.
vary. It could even vary. Like, yeah, we have like simple Muppets, like a
Hmm.
simple Muppet Jim Henson at the beginning, and then we get into like the more classical. We could like follow his progression as an artist too, all the way up to like a much more realistic looking puppet by the end that's kind of like fits like his later films. Um, and then yeah, I don't know where the human fits, but maybe the humans at the end, or like I'd be curious how we switch it in the scenes. I love the idea though.
I think
Um,
that part of it too is like, did you see the Fablemans?
I did, yes.
Okay, there's a specific part of that movie that is like Steven Spielberg's parents are fighting and he's like he sees himself in the mirror basically like
Mm.
trying to figure out how he would shoot like the
Oh
coverage of his parents' fight.
yeah,
And I think
yeah.
that's kind of where my brain is also pulling from is like
Mm.
um as he gets deeper into um Muppetry or whatever the term would be, maybe then he's becoming more of a Muppet himself.
Mm. Mm.
Maybe in like arguments with his wife because it says that they separated
Yes.
several years before his death. Um, maybe that's kind of like where he jumps back and forth. I think it's like it might be when he's his happiest, we see him in Muppet form. And when he's at his lower points, we see him human. But I don't know if that fully tracks.
Mm. That's yeah. Mm. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Yeah, obviously there needs to be a purpose, of
Yeah.
course. It can't just be willy-nilly. So yeah, when the human comes in, yeah, I mean, it could the Muppet also like the human version could be the inner monologue, even like he has with himself. Maybe that's also a part of it. Is there's like this. kind of conversation that he has with himself. And now we're getting into like a very different kind of biopic, which I think is needed. This is a
Yeah.
very unique individual. I think you should do something weird. Like a good example of like a really weird biography book is David Lynch's biography that I have, which is called, I love just being able to look back, and if I can find it, oh God, I'm doing it again. I can't find it. But there's a really great David Lynch biography where one chapter's the an author actually having interviewed people in his life and going through and explaining what it was, and then the next chapter is his recollection of that time, and
Okay.
so you end up having like this, like they almost like echo each other a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like very weird and strange, um because it's like, what do you remember and what is important to you in your life versus like the author brings the facts. And so you've got your kind of like fact-based chapter with interviews, and then you have the memories, which I think
Sure.
really works in kind of this David Lynch world. So I think there's options to kind of do that sort of thing here, is break the mold of like, we don't have to tell it in such a standard way. And
Yeah.
that's kind of what we're saying, even, I mean, just off the outset, if we're going to have like kind of like this dual character thing, which I really like. um okay.
I think is Kermit the narrator? And like we'll still
mm,
see him, but
yeah.
I'm gonna see if this affects my lighting. I was getting a little dark over here.
I think you look great.
That made it worse. Now it's way
Much
like
worse.
yellow.
um yeah, Kermit can, yeah, narrator. Yeah, Kermit's got to be such an important character. It almost feels like Jim Henson, like we have like this alternate reality almost where he is making friend, like the Muppets he creates are like his inner
Based on
monologue and
people. Oh yeah.
friends, yeah, in his life. And they're like, so it almost feels like you have this what's the, is it Skeleton Key or not Skeleton Key? I think that's the Kate Hudson movie. The there's that where the, is it Peter Jackson? Where the kid dies
The
and they're
Lovely
like
Bones.
the Lovely Bones, like having like an alternate reality almost kind of like simultaneously
Yeah.
happening is interesting too, to kind of like this guy whose head's in the clouds a little bit, um kind of like creating all these friends, and maybe there's like even a more fantastical storyline that happens too. Maybe there's some sort of material that Jim Henson didn't get to make that we can kind of like mine a little bit and have
Mm-hmm.
that like finish his big idea in kind of like this simultaneous storyline, all of it. Um, God, this is fucking good. This is like, I mean, now it's art. Now all of a
Yeah.
sudden we were making Muppet movies, and this is more cinema.
Yeah, but I think it all still is what's nice about this property of the Muppets is
Yes.
that you can go in these different directions.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, it is tough for me because I haven't read the biography,
Yeah.
to know like totally where things go, but you know, maybe it's like, you know, you'd be taking liberties with the creation of a lot of these characters, which maybe
Totally.
isn't great, but
Yeah.
um, you know, maybe it is like since he uh did not have a great time working at Saturday Night Live,
Yeah.
maybe like, you know, the start of working at Saturday Night Live, you know, we see him in Muppet form, and then, you know, some of the people who work at Saturday Night Live are then embodied by Statler and Waldorf, who then are
Mm.
like heckling him, and then that kind of brings us back to human Jim, and then, you know, looks back and the two people who were Statler and Waldorf a second ago are just
Base.
like crew members or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. We're swapping.
He goes
Hot
to a
swap.
restaurant, he sees, a clumsy chef working, then he sees it as the Swedish chef. We kind of we
Oh,
can
it's crazy.
move around a
It is
little bit.
crazy. It is
Yeah, I mean
crazy.
it is that's like a 15-second little
Yeah.
little switch just to make sure that my Swedish chef is represented.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Of course. I am so sorry to
hey,
think that that wasn't.
we had to get Kermit first. I understand.
Yeah. 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 Wow. We have disrespected the Swedish chef this episode. That's for sure. Um, yeah. Okay. I like it. I
Is
think,
who plays Jim Henson is really
yeah.
the question we have to land on.
Yeah. It's tough. It's like, it's one of those where like, it doesn't make sense till it makes sense,
Yeah.
kind of.
I
Um,
think also casting his wife. I think if we cast those two, then we're good on our
yeah,
place.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Did
And I'm
he
looking at the
have,
photos of the two of them. I'm like, I have no idea who looks like either
yeah,
one of you.
honestly, that's the crazy thing. It's like Jim Henson is like one of the most unique looking individuals I've ever seen. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't, um, yeah. Uh, okay. Oh yeah. Yeah. Jim and Jane. That is. Oh, is that the movie? But yeah. No, I forgot how a part of each other's history and growth they are.
Yeah.
Um, so that is going to be huge. Yeah. Who you have to get someone who's kind of can play a little bit young,
Uh-huh.
but is more going to play old. Um, I would think, or at least like kind of
Yeah.
middle aged. Obviously,
Yeah.
doesn't make
So
it past in doesn't make it to 60,
yeah, Jim Henson died at 53. So
53. Okay,
that's the
that's the cutoff.
cutoff. Yeah. Um, this is
Yeah.
a
Oof.
this is a crazy choice. And you
Yes,
know that I'm
please.
all about those,
I'm.
apparently.
Whoa. Oh, Manzukis.
What do you think about Andy Samberg as Jim Henson?
Oh, I'm not against it. I think there's something. I think. Well, Andy's gonna have to bring the acting.
Yeah,
Like this goes to a place. Well, I've never seen Palm Springs. Have you seen Palm
I
Springs?
have seen Palm Springs.
He goes into like he plays more serious in
He
that, right?
does. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's done a couple projects. I mean, there was that project last year where where he and Kate Winslet were like World War II documentarians and like went to Nazi
The
Germany.
the fuck? What
um,
the hell, Andy? What is he doing?
um, and he's kind of been dabbling a little bit with some of those other
Yeah,
dramedy type roles. On the Lonely Island Seth Meyers podcast, they all kind of frequently refer to him as having Muppet energy, which I think is
sure.
probably why. I know he did the Swedish Chef in his audition for SNL. So
Nice.
I think that's all of that's kind of like what's
Funneled
pointing
him.
me there,
Yeah.
but I don't know if he can fully bring
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I'd need he like I hate to do this to Andy, but he'll have to audition.
Yeah, yeah, I think you're right.
It just feels like one of those things where we're not going to just offer,
Yeah.
which is
I
sad. I think
yeah.
he's kind of beyond that.
Look,
What?
and maybe there's a supporting role that's we can easily slot him into.
Yes,
But
yeah, I do like him in it though.
yeah.
I think he's good. Okay, you're on the same term. Bill Hader.
Yeah, I mean, I love Bill
I
Hader.
know. I just know Bill can go there,
Yeah.
and
Um,
he's weird. He's kind of weird and lanky. Like he's
yeah.
kind of got that, but he certainly can't play young Jim.
So, certainly, yeah, that's true. But also like Bill is also a good choice given that like Jim is portraying a lot of the Muppet characters like as a performer is like
Yes.
and doing a lot of different voices, and
Hmm.
Bill is someone who has a lot of voices in his
True.
repertoire.
You kind of need someone that definitely can do that. That's a good point.
I think that I think Bill is more suited to it than Andy, but I just don't know that he's the right choice either. He might
Yeah.
also be, one of them might, I don't know what either or what this person looks like. But one of them, Steve Whitmire, or is one of them
Hmm.
Frank
Yeah,
Oz? Like,
exactly. You have a whole crew, and you could go the direction of like the disaster artist angle,
right,
where you kind of throw in the entire comedic troupe almost
right.
of like the Lonely Island and kind of like SNL alums and things like that, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, especially given his connection to
yeah,
the show.
and his probably hatred of it, which I don't know
Probably.
is the right way to take it, but I at least know these people probably have very fond
Yeah,
feelings towards the man. Um, I'm looking up online like fan casting of
great.
I didn't realize there's mycast.io. I guess people like fan cast
Oh yes,
shows on
I've
there.
seen this before.
That is so funny, but makes sense. Now they just have to add like some sort of like betting mechanic, and all of a sudden you got it. Like that's the one thing it's missing. Um,
uh, Let me know who's on there, but if I can
it's
throw another one out real
yeah,
quick.
please go for it.
Ryan Gosling.
See, that's where I went first.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't know, but I think he's I think I
Yeah,
think
exactly. I
I
think.
I I think yeah, and Emma Stone.
Yeah. Let's put them back together.
Why not? We know they're good.
We know it. We've seen it 3 times.
Yeah, exactly. Um, we know they can fight.
Mm-hmm. And we know they
Yeah.
can love.
And we know Emma's crazy. Like she can get kind of weird and wacky.
Sure.
I don't know if she can do voices and stuff though.
Yeah.
Oh
Um,
man, I do love this. I mean, I think Ryan, I think I think I yeah, I do like it.
did you find anyone on these fan
So it's
casts?
Alan Leach. So it's someone that no one's ever heard of.
Okay.
But Alan is Allen, and then Leach is Leech. Um, and definitely has a look that can work. And here I can on the Zoom, I'll drop it in the chat so you
Okay.
can see the website I'm at, so you can see the actual photo there.
Yeah, I
There's
mean,
there's something, but I mean it it's not bad to get someone.
yeah, I don't know.
Mm,
It doesn't work for me. It looks like he's most famous for Downton Abbey.
oh yeah,
But
that's disqualifying.
yeah, I do think I mean, having like scrolling through his,
Yeah.
I've seen The Imitation Game and Bohemian Rhapsody. I couldn't tell you
Who the hell?
who
He
he
doesn't stand out
was.
in a crowd, that's for sure.
Yeah. This person might be too old, but as long as we're just gonna throw out more
Please.
names, and I've already thrown this one out before, but is this a Sam Rockwell position? I don't know.
Maybe well, how about this?
I can see it. I just
Yeah,
don't know if I can hear it, you know?
I think we multicast for the different
Okay.
ages.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I think that we should, if we're willing to throw it all, like because I don't think we're gonna get, because I think there has to be a young Jim
Yeah.
Henson angle, and
Sure.
I think you're gonna need someone else to play that character, that
Mm-hmm.
actor.
Yeah.
Um, so I think that we don't have to worry so much about the young, I would say, because I think we have to find someone else.
Mm-hmm.
no matter what. I think Sam Rockwell, I don't know. I think he's too Sam Rockwell. I think we
Yeah.
need someone like that can put on reserved, which I think
Mm-hmm.
is what Ryan Gosling can do.
I
Is
think
like,
Gosling might be the right
yeah, I think if we're
choice.
thinking of like the, I don't think epitomis is the word, but like the one we know, the Jim Henson we
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah.
um, I think can be Gosling.
Okay. Let's lock it in.
Let's lock it in. All right, I got a button over here. I'm gonna lock it in. There we go, locked in. Um, okay, and then uh, his love interest, his wife.
Yeah, I mean, looking at a picture of Jane, I truly am just like, I don't know
Let me see.
anyone who kind of even vaguely resembles
Oh yeah, she is so
Jane.
unique looking, so Midwestern.
Yeah, Midwestern. Also, like, kind of has like a British
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah,
face,
yeah. When
you
I
know?
think of Midwesterners, I always think of kind of they have a
Yeah.
British quality. We're not, this isn't fucked up. This is what casting is,
This is
folks.
the Hollywood is you're getting an insight to the
Yeah.
Hollywood
And we're being
process.
like,
We're being out of
casting's
character.
mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Casting's mean. Yeah, exactly. We're playing casting agents. You can't blame us. Um, oh man. I mean, there's some images where I see Kate Winslet, which is like Kate Winslet with a nose prosthetic, which I don't
Okay.
think would work. Uh, because Kate Winslet is just a little too old to be paired with Gosling.
Yeah, I don't know who if I mean this is also,
Oh my
British.
God. Did you go to someone's fan casting? Because I just ended up at someone's my cast for this movie and Jim Henson is Ryan Gosling.
Oh no, I did not. I did not. That's
Here,
well,
let
here's
me,
that's proof.
Frank Oz is David Cross. That's
I
someone,
can see that.
I'll drop it in for you so you can kind of
I
see.
don't I wouldn't cast David Cross, but I can
Uh,
see why someone got
exactly.
there.
That's a very generic, they're not thinking about these people playing against each other
Right.
at all. Like
They're
you,
saying this guy is bald. So
yeah,
let me cast him.
exactly. But they got Gosling, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But you look at that image of Gosling, and it does look like Jim Henson. Like I
Yeah,
see
I
it.
can see it
Yeah.
for sure.
And then
They've got a YouTuber on here
I
playing
know.
a role. So we've got a kind
It's
of a
weird.
weird
There's some weird
grouping
ones on
here.
here.
Um,
The director Spike Jones. That's very interesting.
yeah, I mean
Uh,
that works.
that I mean, you are kind of looking for a freak, a
Yeah.
little bit of a wacky Michelle Gondry. Is Michelle Gondry still around? That could
In
be
case you're
interesting.
curious, because it says Gosling as Jim Henson, but it also says the best suggestion out of three selections. And so the
Oh,
selections were Gosling, John Krasinski, and Christopher Walken. Um, so,
huh. Okay. Christopher Walken, sure. Sure. On the deathbed, maybe. That is so funny. Wow, that's wild. Oh, we can just. Oh no, I gotta log in if I want to vote. Um, wow, that's funny. John Krasinski doesn't have it. I'm sorry. He just doesn't have the sauce.
No, I do. I think Gosling, now I feel
Yeah.
affirmed in that selection.
Yes. Because of
Um, because of
what's the
yeah,
user's name?
because he got three votes.
Ringo the drummer.
I think that this is also kind of a generic like go-to
Mhm.
casting choice. Um, and I think that we've seen them together.
Mm.
But I was going to say Emily Blunt. Oh yeah, and the Fall Guy, of course,
Oh
from a year
yeah.
ago.
Yeah. Emily Blunt. Yeah. I think that could work. She does have the chops. She just
Yeah.
picks funky movies, I think, in general.
Yeah.
But I think
And what movie's gonna be funkier than this?
funkier than this. Yeah, man. Yeah, this one we chose a this one's a weird one,
It
and I
is.
think
But we're
we
weird guys.
we're weird guys.
So
So trust us. We could do it. If anyone can do it,
yeah.
the the writers of Muppet Hercules, Muppet Frankenstein, and Muppet Moby Dick, those are the guys
Yeah.
to do it. Um, okay, I think that's great. I think that's the I could see that they have the chemistry. I
Mm-hmm.
think they can lose it with each other too,
Yeah.
um, which I think is good. And yeah, is there anyone else important to round it out?
I mean, not that I can think of. I mean, I do
Yeah,
think that like the Steve Whitmires, the Frank Oz's, those other
Dave
puppeteer,
goals. Yeah,
yeah. I think that those are important, and I think that we've kind of already felt like we know what pool to draw from at least for those.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'd
Actors
be
that
happy
have the
with a
potential
with
to
a
be,
Sandberg hater and oh,
yeah,
let me see what some of these other guys look like.
yeah, yeah. Some kind of like goofy guys
Yeah.
because they're all kind of weird.
Yes.
And but they all have to be able to get serious because also Jim Henson was a really serious guy. Like he has that, but he has the potential to go into this deep well of like emotional um ability and understanding, which is why like so many of his things have that core to it. And I think
Mm-hmm.
it's what makes it last and makes it more than just a movie with puppets. All of his stuff. So they just have to have that. Anyone else that come to mind when you were just search some of these people?
Well, I just looked up what some of them look like, and I
Yeah.
mean, just like we I don't necessarily like it when, someone pulls that David Cross casting because they're like, no other actor could
Yeah.
get bald. No other actor can grow a beard. So like we have
So
to
that,
only
yes.
cast someone like that. But I
Yes.
don't, I think that I like the idea of Andy Samberg and Bill Hader being puppeteers. I don't know if you round that out with Fred Armisen, like
Whoa, you're
I
really,
mean,
yeah, that's a very, all of that, all of those guys with Ryan Gosling, that is a weird.
yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I almost like want to throw in like a Jesse Plemons in here. Like
Oh, that's
I
fun.
want to kind of have like let's get some of the freaks in here too.
Yeah,
That can get that can do some, yeah. Yeah. I mean Jesse Plemons I think fits kind of well with some of these guys and kind of the
sure.
ability to go there.
A Jack Black also kind of feels like he's got a
Mm,
Muppet energy about him.
yeah. Yeah.
Paul
Okay.
F. Tompkins.
Oh my God. Paul F. Tompkins is Frank Oz. Hello. That's it. I think the one thing, if we ever have an opportunity to do this, Paul F. Tompkins is going to be in everything.
Yeah.
It's just that's kind of like how Paul Thomas Anderson throws him in a bunch
Hmm.
of random things here and there. I think that's that's only right.
Yeah, I agree.
And if he knew who I was, I not to say my life would be complete, but it would feel it'd be I would have leveled up.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll also throw out just one more, less established name, but I think a James Austin Johnson, who's currently on SNL as most famously for his Trump impression, I think is
Oh,
someone
yes,
who,
Shrimp AG, right?
yeah,
Or AJ. Yes, yes.
um,
Yeah, he's great.
it seems
Uh,
like kind of has that sort of facial quality and does a lot of voices.
yeah. And I've seen him talk serious before too, in like
Hmm.
interviews and stuff. So I think he can go. He has the ability to go there too.
Yeah,
Oh, and I think Sarah Sherman as one of the freaky Muppet
sure.
girls too. You
Yeah,
know that there were some of them as well.
absolutely.
And I
I
gotta,
it really
I got.
is just like
Wow,
built
we
from
are just.
SNL.
Jeremy Colhane, my new friend on the cast.
Yeah,
Friend. Oh God.
friend.
Yes, that's yep. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think we have a good handle on what
It
that
is.
movie is, and it is an unwieldy movie, but I think
It
we
is.
have a handle on it.
It's something that if when I almost said if
Yeah.
when we pitch it, probably you're going to need a treatment or like much more substantial material. The other things kind of write themselves in the pitch
Yes.
almost naturally, but this one is is big, and it's almost like you when even thinking of like who you rope in as a more like interesting studio. Obviously, I think Disney has to be involved because they
Yeah.
literally have the rights. But I think you got to bring in some of the like some sort of dual something because you got to get
Yeah.
some artists in here
Yeah,
to break it
operated under
down.
one of their like smaller banner
Yeah,
studios. I don't know if they own, I think they own Searchlight
they
now.
still have
And
Searchlight.
so I
Yes.
think maybe that's like that's kind of where you operate under,
Yeah.
and then Disney lets you, use the characters and
Yeah.
stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. 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 The Muppets in a yeah because it'll be good and then yeah yeah. There's a lot of ways to go. I can think of even like thinking of even directors. There's a lot of interesting directors that could take this on and do something interesting. I think even though I know Benny Safdie, like the Smashing Machine wasn't like that ultimate of a success, but I think there's like a there's a Safdie core that I really like that he could hit with this. And
I
also even
liked
bring
the
in
I
hmm,
liked the Spike Jones choice on that
yeah,
casting page. I think that's interesting.
yeah.
Like
Um
a John Favreau if he wants to
oof,
leave
Star
the
Wars realm.
volume
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
and go
See,
shoot on a real set. I think that
yeah,
could be interesting.
that's what I miss the John Favreau
That's what I
of
mean. Yeah.
yesteryear.
If you
Yeah,
want
I
to go
think
back to like an elf quality, I think
yeah,
that can kind of still fit.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, even the first Iron Man just
yeah.
like just grounded a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like let's and not deal so much, but yeah, no, I think he's poisoned with Star Wars kind of melted him a little bit.
I think yeah, it's kind of an unfortunate thing that you hear all the time, which is like the studio system eats these directors up, spits them out, and now, the Russo brothers are on their weird track. John Favreau's on sort of an unusual track.
Yeah. And so it's kind of one of those things where it's just like it's amazing when people and I'm not sure I'm guessing you aren't a fan of Yorgos Lanthimos, are you? Is he a little too weird for you?
He's a little too weird for me.
Yeah, he's perfectly me. Like that's my sort of thing and I like it's amazing when people just stick to it
Mm-hmm.
and stay like but I think you have to be kind of this more auteur kind of guy or woman to do that
Yeah.
in this day and age and not because he has never done a like a big certainly not a Marvel movie or anything like that
Yeah.
um yeah yeah no you gotta get someone a little freaky with it
You know what?
um
Maybe you and I, since we have the best handle on it, maybe you and I should just direct
I
this Oscar
it
movie.
wouldn't it I've heard a lot of people say that
Mm-hmm.
actually. It's
Yeah.
not, I know you probably heard it too. We're just messengers.
And this is going to be an Oscar movie because Oscar the Grouch will be in it.
Oh, oh, damn. Technically is an Oscar movie. And I think you could put it on the box on the
Yeah.
DVD with a little
Technically an Oscar movie.
technically an Oscar movie. It's him in the trash can looking like
Yeah,
the
gold.
statue.
Yeah, I like
Yep.
it.
Yep. Um, Wow. This was so much longer than I thought. It might be one of the longest episodes we've ever done on the podcast. And so I didn't know that this was so ripe for material,
Yeah.
but it really was. I think we have some really great ideas from Hercules. I'm thinking of the Michael Shannon casting, which I love. I think J.K. as Zeus, uh, Elizabeth Gillies, Rizzo, and Pepe as Pain and Panic. I think there's so many interesting. You can just see it in your mind, which I love. Um, Frankenstein, obviously. Oh my God, there's so many great things in that. Angerie, which is her name technically. I'm going to say that now. That is actually what it is. Wow, yeah, going back to the beginning, it is funny. It feels like we've really gone on a journey. Moby Dick with Gonzo and Rizzo as Ishmael is interesting now. It feels like, and Manzukis, we got your boy in there.
We did.
Yeah, as your thing. But these are winners, folks.
Yeah.
And there's no ifs, ands, or buts
out the gate on our first attempt at this.
First attempt,
pretty incredible.
Yes. So I very much look forward to if you dare come back and share your insights again. We would be blessed by your presence.
I will be here every single time you do this, whether you like it or not.
You do now know the meeting ID for the Zoom. So technically, if you guess the time right, you might be able to show up. But I want to thank you, Chris, for joining me today on this very special episode that I don't have a name for what this is yet. We'll have to brainstorm that too.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
We'll have to figure that out.
You can find Chris on How Do We Human. That's Chris's podcast. Anything else you want to plug before we send off? I kind of did your plug for you.
No, I appreciate that. You can also, I guess, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Sassy Milkshake. Every now and then there's videos coming out. And by every now and then, right now, it's been every Monday. I don't know if that'll still be happening by the time this comes out.
God damn. I mean, that's hard to do. I mean, I even like with this podcast, doing it for every week for now. I mean, it's coming up to 2 years soon. Yeah, but I mean, How Do We Human? You guys have been doing that. God, how many years now?
We started the first episode came out in 2019. So that's
wow. So pre-pandemic even. Dang.
Yes, we hadn't missed an episode until early this year due to the fires.
Not a good excuse.
I know.
Well, right on, Chris. Thank you for coming. And folks, we'll see you next time. That's a wrap. Bye-bye. Wind, Reel, and Print is a podcast by Salad Brain Productions.
You can find us on Instagram at Wind, Reel, and Print Pod.
You can also find us wherever you get your podcasts.
And please, if you like the show, leave a rating and review.
We'll see you next time.